What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Royal Dude Lorenzo. I am the blue squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. I am the purple squid on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
Yo, what's up? It's Isaac, aka Senpai Isaac, or Red Squid on the podcast.
And I'm Eric, and I'm not doing that clapping thing that these two do.
I didn't do it either. I don't know what's going on there. We were playing like Open Sesame, like at the beginning of the podcast.
I just heard
We're playing patty cake through the Discord.
Open Sesame.
Open Sesame.
No, we both don't do it.
All right, everybody.
Yeah,
How you
but,
doing out there? Everybody's doing okay?
Yeah, I'm
Out
doing
there,
okay.
out there is
Surviving.
illegal. What are you talking about? How you doing in there?
What
Yeah,
to quote the Bee Gees, I'm ha ha ha, staying alive, staying alive,
Staying alive. Ha, 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 ha.
staying alive.
I think I'm okay.
This lockdown has been
You think?
intense.
Are you sure? You should know you're okay, sir.
36 days without sex.
Yo, the first time I saw that YouTube poop, it was like on the home page, and I was in a Best Buy testing one of their tablets. Like, I think it was like a Google tablet. And then I went on YouTube, and that was on the front page.
Right,
Like,
no.
YouTube poop, Pride Patty.
No, right. In Best
36
Buy?
days without
You
sex.
telling me you play that through the Apple speakers?
No, I didn't play it through the speakers. Like, I just watched it on the tablet on low volume.
You see a Best Buy employee come up like, sir, can I help?
Sir, can I help you?
Oh yeah, I've seen this one too.
But
But yeah, day
Yeah.
364 of quarantine.
yeah, guys, it's been almost a whole year. But yeah, I
36 days.
everything is going okay so far. I think I'm almost completely lost all of my marbles, but
I
yeah.
thought you were about to say I lost all my brain cells.
I thought you were about to say I
That's-
lost my virginity, but okay.
That happened a long time ago. No. The brain cells.
Wow. Whoa.
I hope
This
your
is
parents
Lawrence
watch this.
after. This
Nice
is
name.
Lawrence after dark on the podcast.
Yeah, I hope your parents listen to this.
His parents are gonna be like, Lawrence, we need to talk.
I meant the brain cells. I promise.
This is crack.
His mom's crying.
Alright, let's change gears.
Yeah, word.
So what have you guys been up to since 2 weeks ago? Besides the usual staying your ass in home and and not being outdoors.
Catching up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Subbed and watching some Sailor Moon with my sister.
I still remember when I thought you meant like your entire family was watching that.
I remember that too. That was only 2 weeks ago. We made a whole scenario of Ray and his parents at a dinner table watching Sailor Moon.
His dad's like, "Oh boy, Sailor Moon time!"
His dad's in cosplay.
Gear and shirts on, yeah. Like, TV
His
shows.
dad's dressed up as Sailor Venus.
Jesus Christ.
I love the Jesus Christ from Ray. It's like, oh God.
That reminds me of the time when Eric, when Eric accidentally watched, I think it was like something that was related to Fate on Netflix, but it was on my dad's account. So when he logged onto his account after that, he was like, "Yo, why am I getting all this anime recommendations?" And then
I remember this. I was
Yeah.
at your place and I put like
Yeah.
the first episode of Fate Zero, and I guess it just
It remembers.
it just remembered that. So it's like, oh,
Like,
clearly
based on
Ray's
the
dad wants to
recommendation.
watch all this anime shit.
Honey,
then he
why
made
am
a
I
joke.
getting recommended to watch Fruits Basket? And what is that?
And then Eric made a joke, was like, "Oh yeah, like let me get Eric's phone number. Yo, Eric, how can I get like the visual novels?"
he like calls me. He's like, "How do I get into this, bro?"
Ray's dad lined up outside of
Where do I start?
ready to buy the manga.
I swear, Isaac, when you just said fruit basket just now, it just made me think of you fight me with fruit.
Oh, from Dark Side of
like,
Dimensions.
That was like
Wow.
the only
So,
line that I
just drink.
remember from that.
You
movie.
summon the cream puff and an elf. Then it's your funeral.
Wow. Oh.
Nice.
Yo, I keep forgetting that Kaiba's voice is Shadow.
Is
What?
it really?
No, it isn't. Wait,
it
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? What?
I know Kaiba's voice is Brock.
Yeah, it is
Is it
Brock.
Brock? Okay. Okay, probably not Shadow.
I do know that the guy who voiced Sonic for a while, Jason Griffith, he voiced a character in GX,
Oh, which character was it?
Atticus,
Atticus.
Alexis's brother.
My second guess was Aster Phoenix, but close enough.
I could totally see that.
Jeez.
But you asked what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Just been chilling. You know, getting some of that outside illegal air every now and then. But
Illegal air.
just started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender with me and my brothers. And, it's such a throwback. It's so good. Definitely recommend you guys watch it on Netflix.
Good
I
as fuck show.
eventually want to do my watch through of it. It's only 61 episodes, so it's like not too bad. Like I feel like you can get it done in a couple days, 3 days maybe.
For a
I've seen a
show
lot of
that
it
ran for, I mean,
times, but I definitely look forward to like just seeing the entire show again, like just do a proper run through. I remember Nicktoons Network used to play it all the time, particularly the arc when they went to the prison in the Fire Nation and they were trying to get Sokka's dad out.
Mm.
Oh, I remember that
those,
one. Yeah. That was in season
those
3.
are fun episodes.
That's one of my favorite arcs. Yeah.
That was during
that.
Just stop there.
I was just gonna say like if Isaac wanted to continue, you could. But what were you guys gonna say?
Isaac?
I was saying that was one of my favorite arcs too. And I remember, I just keenly remember they always would replay like the first 2 episodes a lot on Nicktoons.
Like
so
the first 2 episodes of the whole show?
They're stuck in my mind. Just watching that on Netflix again, like transported me back 10 years.
Yeah.
I
That's
remember
me
when-
with a lot of things.
I remember when the season 1 episodes were like, "Oh, yo, catch this new episode of Avatar Friday night at 8 on Nick" or something.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
I still remember seeing-
this.
Earth.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I remember seeing the finale of the entire series when it aired.
I remember that too. Yeah, I didn't see it live, but I DVR'd it.
I saw it live, and I was like, "Wow, dude, this is a momentous occasion."
I
Dude,
did too. Sozin's Comet.
It was like
Yeah.
an hour and a half finale.
Yo, the Sozin's Comet special was like that was like hypest moment in that school year for me. Like
That 4-parter
it's still caught
finale.
in my mind.
It's
I remember
crazy.
I went to my cousin
Fucking
to like
Avatar
watch
finale,
it.
bro.
That Avatar finale was wild. They made like cinematic ads for that shit. It was amazing.
It may as well as it's definitely deserving of like Nickelodeon hyping it up.
Nickelodeon peaked there, and then it's
That was honestly, I feel like that was the peak of Nickelodeon, and then there were hits here and there after, but I feel like nothing like that ever came back. Korra was cool, but I don't really see any other shows that had that kind of like just that momentum, like Eric said.
Yeah.
Besides like the whole Dan Schneider collection of shows, like
Schneiderverse.
Yeah, the Snyderverse. Otherwise, besides that, like the only other time just everybody tuned into Nickelodeon was Avatar, and for the most part, Korra. Like for the people who like didn't
Back
care,
when they still
yeah.
aired on the actual channel instead
When they
of
still
airing
aired
that was
online,
weird to me
and just
because
didn't
when
dump the rest of it.
Korra went off the network, it's like actual channel block, and they put it on like Nick Turbo. That was like I feel like that kind of.
I remember that.
I didn't think it was a bad decision. I just thought it was awkward because it killed the momentum of it. It's like, all right, now you can watch it when it comes out on.
I thought it was a
online.
pretty bad decision because it's still just crazy to me that Nick was like, "Yeah, dude, this sequel to like one of the biggest shows we've ever had. Let's treat it like shit."
Bro, I'm not.
Where can you even watch it? Because it's not on Netflix, right? And not on Hulu.
Korra's not on Netflix, but the best way
can-
to watch it, I'd say, is to
I guess
get
like the Blu-ray collection?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a Blu-ray collection with both shows complete on it. Like you can get that. It's like in one package.
I'm definitely gonna get
Definitely
that.
get that. Same.
It's worth the buy, and it comes with so much on it,
It's
like
pretty good price,
commentary, art.
Yeah,
You're getting,
I
like,
remember.
You're basically getting like 7 or 8 seasons of the whole like franchise.
I think it's 7 seasons. Yeah, because
7 seasons.
Last Airbender was 3 books, and then
And
Korra was 4.
Korra was 4.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know Korra was actually that long, to be honest with you, because I felt like after the first season, I
It's
didn't
longer-
hear anything from it.
Well, yeah, because the
Dude.
first season was pretty popular, But then they announced that they were actually going to do more, and the sequels didn't really get as much attention because Nickelodeon was still meddling and stuff.
Yeah,
Dude,
I forgot when exactly went off the air, but I think it was season 4.
The third and
It was
fourth
sometime
season,
during season 4, yeah.
The third and fourth seasons get into some crazy shit that, like, did they air season 3 on Nickelodeon at least, or did
I
they,
think
think
so.
so, yeah.
I think they aired all of season 1, 2, and 3, and then parts of season 4. But then they just, like, I think halfway through season 4, they just said, "Screw it! It's only online now."
Dude,
Bruh.
the amount of shit that happens in both those seasons, like, is insane. That if all that had to air on Nickelodeon, I would have been like really shocked. Like, it's not even on Nick at Night. Like, it's on a regular Nick primetime slot.
Well, actually, maybe I'm wrong because I could have sworn that, like, maybe parts. I know that at one point there was a time where they took it off the air and were only airing episodes online. But I think I might be wrong. They might have aired like the last few season 4 episodes on TV because I could have sworn like everyone was talking about the big gay kiss at the end of Korra.
Oh yeah.
Wait, was
So,
it a kiss? I thought it was just.
There wasn't a kiss. No,
Oh,
it
no,
was
my
just like
bad,
a big
my bad.
reveal. It was more
but
like
it was
a
a
big
reveal that
Yeah, when they basically held hands, and
yeah,
that
they held
kind
hands
of
and they looked
answered
into each
all
other's
the
eyes.
all
they
the
confirmed, like,
theories.
like,
and stuff.
yeah, it's canon.
Yeah, I think that might have aired on TV. So maybe it was
It did.
sometime during season 3 or like
Oh,
early
no.
season 4. But yeah.
I don't think it did. I remember that there was when that happened, a lot of people talked about it, and there was like the hype behind it was crazy. People were like, "Oh man, the last Airbender is a kids show. Korra is like the real stuff." And I love the last Airbender, so I liked Korra too. But that all that hype came from the actual that episode airing online, and people saying like it was too like controversial at that time to be on Nick, because this was before Adventure Time, I think, or around the same time, but before like Peanut Butter. I mean, what's his name? Bubblegum. What was it? The princess from
Bubblegum?
Adventure Time
And
and Marceline. Like that actual episode where they're confirmed.
Yeah.
That aired on TV, but that was after Korra.
And also the Ruby and Sapphire wedding in Steven Universe, which, from what I heard, I don't know if it's true, but apparently Rebecca Sugar was threatening to leave Cartoon Network if they wouldn't produce the episode.
Damn.
I never actually watched like any of Steven Universe, to be honest.
I haven't seen it at all, but I hear it's good.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes. I caught some on TV because my little brother was into it, and it's good, but I didn't really get into it like that.
I think the last show that I expressed any sort of interest towards was Adventure Time. And I didn't even watch it when it first came out, but like I think in recent years I was just like, wow, Adventure Time, that's actually kind of dope. So so I'm looking forward to when they release those 4 episodes that they're making on HBO.
On HBO Max.
Yeah.
Which you just got it.
It's a spin-off, right? Because I don't think they said it's like the last episodes.
Yeah, it's like
It takes place after
everything on
the last
Distant
episode.
Lands.
Because the show ended. It had an actual ending.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Adventure Time?
HBO Max's Adventure Time spin-off.
I think that's like a spin-off, yeah, or something.
Yeah, it's a spin-off.
In the same universe.
Yeah.
So wait, are they like different characters?
I think like I think it's gonna be a different main cast, but we're still gonna like see the past characters now and then because they've been in the teasers. So
I think it's only 4 episodes though, so I'm excited to watch it. That and a bunch of other stuff.
Hopefully, they don't butcher it like another HBO franchise.
Well,
Oh, man.
That shit was ass.
Something I discovered last week when I managed to do that for my folks was that Fresh Prince is going to be a launch title on HBO Max.
that is true.
So I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for that because I finally get a chance to watch it on TV.
You guys saw the billboard advertisement for HBO Max, right? With all the characters from the different shows and movies.
I haven't seen a billboard in ages, Ray.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to see it outside, but like there was pictures going around
on the internet.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll fetch
Those
it right now because
billboards.
I sent it to Lawrence the other day, so I'll just post it in the chat for you guys.
I
Just
remember
answer your question though. I haven't seen a billboard.
I mean, I haven't either.
What were you saying, Eric?
I was gonna say, I remember when it comes to Korra, that was a weird show because I remember like season 1 was fairly cool and interesting for the most part, but like everyone was like, "Wow, that ending was super rushed," and I kind of forgave it because at the time it was only supposed to be a 1-season show. But then Nick is like, "Oh right, this is the sequel to Avatar. I guess we should let it have more seasons."
I guess so.
And so
we
then they
wanna
made
make
like
more?
season 2, 3, and 4. But I remember like the first half of book 2 looked so off animation wise because a different studio was animating it. And then like season 2 was really weird in general. And then season 3 and 4 went to some really dark places at times where I'm like, wow, this makes like the bloodbending from the last Airbender seem tame.
You know what's funny?
Wait, you're talking about season 3?
Yeah, like season 3.
Oh
like,
yeah, season
I guess
3 was
as a
it was
slight
pretty.
spoiler.
You were seeing on-screen deaths like that.
Yeah,
was,
you were
it
seeing
was
on-screen
graphic.
deaths and some graphic deaths in book 3 of Korra, like the Earth Queen.
They took it to another level.
I saw a meme. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. That was like somebody who had never watched Avatar before was like, "Yo, so like if you have Avatar, right? Why can't you? And the only way the way you should fight evil is just like if you can bend water and blood is 70% water, then why can't you just bend their blood and just destroy them?" And then the comment underneath that was like, "No one tell her." I thought it was really funny because it was like, yeah, I remember that blood bending thing in the original. I'm just like, yeah, that's not a good idea.
This ain't it, fam.
This ain't it. Nah, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to watching that. It's somewhere close to the top of my list at the moment. At the moment, I'm a few episodes away from finishing West Wing, so I'm almost done with that. And I'm almost at the last couple of seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment. So I do want to eventually watch My Hero and also Avatar, preferably before.
You haven't watched My Hero yet?
No. Well, okay, here's what happened. I started watching it, and then by the time that they were in the tournament arc, which is like 40 episodes in, I was like, I don't understand anything that just happened. How did we get here?
You started in the middle of the
a
anime?
lick of My Hero.
Which one?
I haven't seen a lick of My Hero at all.
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces. I mean, I saw the first season. It has a good start. I guess like I wasn't as invested in it past season 1, but I hear it gets better. It's because I got distracted by Demon Slayer.
Oh,
There's
right.
a lot of good
good.
shonen out there,
got
so
ignorant,
you really have
yeah.
to stand out.
That's true now, especially more than ever. Because you got
Actually.
Demon Slayer. You have, I mean, Hunter x Hunter is still airing.
Yeah, you got One Piece
JoJo,
still going.
Jotaro.
Bizarre Adventures, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Attack on Titan's got its final season coming up this year.
Oh yeah.
God, I still remember when like the first season of Attack on Titan came out back in like high school.
Freshman in high school.
Yeah, seriously. I still remember all our high
everyone
school
was
friends talking about it.
new anime Attack on Titan?
Yeah, and people wanted
so
the
much about it.
jacket and
Yo,
cape and everything. Like I had friends that like who if you saw them were like the hardest people you'd ever met. And they were like, yo, that jacket is fire. You watch that anime, yo, in the first episode, yo, his mom gets eaten. And I'm like, oh god.
Yo, the main character dies in like the first couple episodes.
The mom was the main character?
No, the main character actually dies.
What?
Eren
In
Yeager.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah, he comes back, but like he dies in like
As a
the
Titan.
first couple episodes.
Oh.
But yeah, I remember. I mean, I remember the hype around Attack on Titan. I honestly like it. The hype killed it for me, so I never watched it. I was like, you know what? For me, that's what happens. But I got it. Like, I get why people were into it so much. It's kind of like when when Naruto first came on TV here in the West, and like in the middle of middle school, I remember how many people love Naruto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Naruto was huge. I think like after DBZ started to wind down, Naruto, like the Naruto craze really hit.
Yeah.
It really hit, man. Like I remember seeing this is dark. This is the only dark thing I'll mention, but I remember how like when Naruto started airing on TV and like on Toonami here in the States, there was a news story about a kid who died because he buried himself under the sand in a playground after watching an episode of Naruto.
Yeah, I remember.
Hell?
Because he saw Gaara controlling the sand. Gaara's a sand ninja.
Yeah,
and he had the little jar and he could manipulate sand. And this kid saw the episode,
the sand coffin technique,
buries himself, and calls it a sand coffin, and died.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's how strong the craze was.
And there was no, no one was like arrested or taken in because they're kids, and there's no guilty party here. Like it was an accident.
Yeah.
And of course, they blame it on anime.
Yeah. I love everything too. The only, like as sad as the story is, not to make fun of that. Unfortunately, the only reason I, still remember that story is because of the way that the news anchor said the name of the show is like Naruto Sand Ninjas.
No,
yeah.
And the footage, and I kid you not, if you look up the actual news,
the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, the news story from when they aired it originally. The clips that they use from Naruto is taken from an AMV on YouTube from 2006.
Oh god!
You literally see the Akatsuki.
Does it say on Reddit cam?
What happened?
It probably did.
Hypercam in the upper left-hand corner.
It probably did.
It probably was there.
Probably had Windows Movie Maker effects and shit. The blue screen with white text.
Like the Wii phone.
Oh my
god. The Wii phone. The arrow.
But yeah, man, that's how crazy it hit. Like Eric said, man, the craze hit. And I guess that's what people in high school, like at the time of high school, it was Attack on Titan. I remember High School of the Dead was that was another show people were raving over.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul in the later part of high school.
No, High School DxD. Don't forget that one.
I remember that. Yeah.
Death Note. That was
that was pretty big.
I remember in high school there was also Fairy Tail actually exploded when I was in 10th, 11th grade. I know the clique in my high school that was into anime, they would always talk about it.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I didn't get into it until my senior. Still after my senior year.
Yeah.
So
I remember my friend was like, "Yo, I know the show. Like the name of the show sounds weird, but it's actually really legit, dude."
Yeah, I watched it. What happened? I started work that summer, and I was in my office at the time, and I was really bored. I had nothing to do. There was nothing to do at all, and so I just pulled up Netflix, and I was just like, what can I do to kill time? And then I just saw Fairy Tail. The first 54 episodes or something like that were up there, and I just decided, why not? And I started watching it, and I got hooked on it, and then I just watched it, pretty much all of it. And that summer, I think we went to Liberty for the first time.
It was fairly easy to get hooked into shows like that, man. I kind of miss those times in a way. It's kind of like what Eric said, because now there's shonen is everywhere, and it's like you could pick any show to start watching now, especially with Crunchyroll and Verve, and now Netflix is making anime too. So it's hard to get invested into one show, but if it's really that good, then that's me with Demon Slayer. But I try to get into other ones too, like My Hero. I know you guys are talking. Ray tried to suggest it to me, but it's like Eric said, there's so much shonen now. Back then, it was easier to get into because there wasn't as much.
Yeah,
well, I think a part of it is also because back then we had so much free time. Especially even in high school and all that. So it was easy to get wrapped up into stuff like Fairy Tail, Death Note, Attack on Titan, and so on.
Yeah, I remember.
Are you sure the main character dies? I don't remember that. I need to rewatch that.
That's what I remember hearing.
My freshman year of college, I decided it was the winter semester, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch Naruto.
And then I'm gonna hack my college network.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. But yeah, I was watching Naruto. I watched maybe the first 16 episodes, and then I realized
3 parts.
Huh?
Did you watch them in 3 parts?
Which one?
All of the 16 episodes?
I watched every episode.
No, but did you watch them in 3 divided parts though?
Oh
yeah,
no,
like on YouTube,
no.
idiot. He's referencing the
No,
whole
I
like
watched
YouTube thing.
Yeah, I watched it on
They
Hulu.
uploaded the whole series, yeah.
He's
No,
not from that generation, Ray.
I watched it on Hulu, but after the 16th episode, first off, I think like the fillers started off really quickly.
If she don't remember the 5-star button on YouTube, she's too young for you, bro.
But I never actually got a chance to finish after that episode because I was like, first off, I had a lot of work to do, and then I realized how big of a feat it really was for me to watch.
Unintentional.
No, what is it? 800 episodes of Naruto in total.
800? Nah, bro. Definitely not 800. It's like 600.
600.
Including Shippuden, right? 500, bro. It's only 500.
Are you sure? I feel like 500. Wait,
I know One Piece has over 800.
You're asking the total number of episodes or just the first series?
yeah, like
Before
is it
Shippuden.
just for the
Everything.
first Naruto?
Everything together
everything?
is 500 episodes. There's 200. So Naruto, the original anime series, is 220 episodes long, and then Shippuden, which has 500 total. So it's like
700.
720. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a shonen. Shonen can get really long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
21 seasons.
when that was around the time when I was like, yeah, 700 episodes. I'm only on episode 16. This is gonna be a long time. And then I just had too much work. I just couldn't.
Long time. Yeah, no shit.
I mean, Henry right now is going to One Piece. He's only halfway.
Well, One Piece is well, Henry has like 24/7 free time right now, I guess. So that's how he's getting so caught up with One Piece. But also,
listen.
the One Piece
fair,
anime is like 14 minutes of like recaps and stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
was
why
like,
he's
there's a video talking about like how infamous One Piece is with like how fucking long the recaps can be and how little of actual original content you're getting from each episode.
yeah. That's why I'm not too crazy
That
about
used to be
the
a
anime.
huge trope
Honestly.
in anime too.
Also, too,
Naruto used to do that.
I wanted to mention this. Henry's also using that website that cuts out like the One Piece filler. So,
Oh wow!
like, yeah, so like it basically matches everything up with the manga. At least that's what I assume.
Does it does it cut out like the recaps and shit like that too?
I assume it does that.
Okay. 'Cause, yeah, I mean that's the one reason why I stopped watching the anime and just decided to read the manga. Because one, the manga's better anyway. But that's a fact, not an opinion. But
No, you're right.
Whoa, damn! Someone's
I
being
mean,
bold.
it really is. You'd be crazy to argue that the anime is better.
I'm not gonna argue that it's better.
But yeah, I got
really
so
just
tired with the
depends on, like,
recaps
yeah,
and stuff that
anime.
I'm like, dude, this and then I started reading it, and I'm not. I swear to God, even now, it takes less time to catch up by reading than by watching the anime. I'm not even kidding. It really would take less time.
The thing is also Fairy Tail does the same exact thing too. It's a little less rambunctious. It's not 14 minutes, but it's like 8 minutes worth of recaps. Like the first 5 minutes or other.
We really needed a recap about that goat feet licking torture. Yeah.
It was like 5 minutes of It was 5 minutes of recap, 3 minutes of theme song, and then there was still the end credit scene. So yeah, about 11 minutes of content that we don't need out of a 22-minute episode. So you would get like only 11 minutes worth of like actual content before you got into the next episode and had to repeat it all again. And it's, after a while it gets tiring, but at the same time it's like, especially with this the last season, since it's like starting to wind down and there's only like maybe 20 or less episodes left, I don't really mind it personally, just because it's like eventually I'm going to completely run out of Fairy Tail episodes, and so I'm just I'm going with the vibes at the moment. So, but eventually, I mean, one day I want to watch all of One Piece and Naruto. That's an eventual goal of mine, and I'm crazy, I get it. But I mean, I'm like almost halfway through the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh, so It's doable.
I guess it helps that for each Yu-Gi-Oh series, well, the first Yu-Gi-Oh series is like what 200 and something episodes.
Yeah.
But then after that, it only hovers around 150, so it's not that much of a huge time investment.
Yeah, it's not. No, I don't plan on
like OPs and stuff. Then
Yeah, I don't plan on going past 5Ds, to be honest. It's not because I don't like.
You don't want to watch Zexal and Zexal 2?
I watched the first.
In all fairness, I hear Zexal 2 is way better than the first.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I watched the first few episodes of the first, and I was turned off very quickly.
I tried the English dub of Zexal, and I'm like, wow, I am not wrong. The English dub just gets worse with each new series.
Did you guys see? I don't know. I think I told you guys, but I don't know if you watched it. But like, did you guys hear about like that whole controversy? I don't know if it's a controversy, but just how originally I think Funimation or not Funimation, some other company, I think in LA, they wanted to get the rights to start dubbing every new Yu-Gi-Oh anime starting with Zexal, and they made like a the people in Japan, they actually gave them the original episode files to work with, so that you could actually manually edit the lip flaps and replace the cards instead of having to paint over everything, like how 4Kids has been doing it. And they actually put together a first episode with the voices, and the voices for everyone, including Yuma, were actually really tolerable, and it was pretty faithful to the Japanese version because it included the original music and sound effects and everything.
God, that glorious original Japanese music.
Yeah. And I don't think they needed to change the card layouts either. So yeah, that was the thing that they wanted to do, and they wanted to apparently get it out before the 4Kids version, but I guess for whatever legal reasons they weren't able to make that the official dub.
I feel like we're sadly never gonna get like fully uncut dubs of Yu-Gi-Oh because
I wish we could,
because
but,
Konami runs 4 media now, right? Like the
replacement
Konami cross media.
They purchased 4Kids, so now they're a part of Konami.
Yeah, and I feel like there's no way they'll ever like licenses out to like Funimation or something now.
Yeah.
They don't even do anything with it anymore.
And to be clear, no, Konami does not own Yu-Gi-Oh, but they own the license to distribute products and the anime and everything like that.
That's why they're the ones who always develop the games.
Yeah. Shueisha Jump is the owners of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, they made Yu-Gi-Ohs like the cereal,
made. That's true. Like they made it into a.
Did they really make it?
Yes.
Yeah, Google it. It's a
Google it.
Oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh cereal.
And there's also,
where's the Duke Devlin flavor? That's what I want to
eat. Dan.
Yo,
Yu-Gi-Ohs.
There's the Yu-Gi-Oh cereal, and there's also the Blue Eyes White Dragon cereal as well.
Wait,
what?
This is real. Look it up.
Wait, in like America or in Japan?
In America.
Yu-Gi-Oh cereal, it's real. It's real.
Tastes like Yu-Gi.
Oh my god, the fucking sweetened corn like things. They're shaped like the Millennium Puzzle. Oh my god. And what's this? The Blue Eyes White Dragon Berry Blast cereal?
That reminds me of Isaac, you remember the All Might cereal? Plus Ultra cereal?
I think his mic is muted right now.
Oh, you made it? Yeah.
I got the All Might cereal.
Yeah, that was something that Funimation sold at Anime NYC a few months ago.
It was from Funimation?
Yeah, it was at the Funimation booth.
If you eat Yu-Gi-Oh cereal every day, do you become a better duelist?
I think you get diabetes.
Yo, do you get a free card inside? Like in the video?
Free card inside every time?
You see like a kid stand up like, Mom, points at his mom, I got diabetes.
Wow. Okay.
No, I never saw it in stores. I literally just heard about this last week when we were talking about the 4Kids uncut Yu-Gi dub that.
Yeah, that they so originally there was an uncut dub with in collaboration with Funimation. They got the 4Kids actors on it. They only did like I think 17 or 19 episodes.
I think it was only 9.
There was only 9, yeah. They didn't get that far in. Like they only did like the first 9 episodes of Duelist Kingdom. You can
tell the differences right away.
The original Japanese music is in there. There's no cuts. There's even explicit language.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yugi says hellfire in the first episode.
There's also an episode where I think it was during the Weevil duel where he's like, "Why don't you shut your damn mouth?
I'll kick your ass."
And it's funny too because as I said before, I'm following the Japanese subbed version of the show. I just finished the entire Duelist Kingdom season today, so next time I go back, I'm gonna be starting the Battle City stuff. And there's a part in the Pegasus duel with between him and Yugi where he's like, "Shit, holy shit!" So I'm wondering, like, if they had did an uncut version of that in English, like, will we have heard Pegasus's 4Kids actor say "shit" like twice?
And you said he said it in English, right?
Yeah, he in English because in the Japanese version of the show, Pegasus, I think he's supposed to be American, so he does a lot of like American dialect in some of his dialogue. So he's like, "Hi, very good, Yugi boy," and they start speaking in Japanese.
Oh wow!
Excellent.
Pegasus.
Cool.
I love Pegasus.
I honestly think it's probably for the best that they kept them alive in the anime.
I think so too, especially because it led to some interesting, like, you know, plot developments and all that.
Yeah.
As we also got like the crossover movie later on where he's like pretty important.
I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like in every single season, they have to mention him like a couple times.
Maximilian Pegasus, the creator.
Yeah, like I was just watching before we started this podcast. I was just watching the Noah arc, which is funny to say because it's like Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark
also has an Ark card. It's great. It's like that has to be on purpose. Anyways, he was talking about how the spirit monsters, and he was like, when Maximilian Pegasus designed a game, and I'm just like, oh, there's the name drop again. There it is. Just did it last season, but here we are again.
I mean, he is important.
Yeah.
To be fair.
He's important up until like 5Ds, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's dead by the time 5Ds happens.
Yeah, he well, it's not confirmed in Japan. Like we can assume he's dead because of the time passage, but like in
why'd you laugh at that, you psychopath?
Pegasus is dead.
No, because it's
burn in hell, you son of a
bitch. It's so long in the future that like.
Well, it's not that long. It's apparent. Some people theorize
it's only like 34 years later.
Wait, really?
Yeah, some people theorize it's only 30 years, not like 100 or 1,000.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure 5Ds takes place in like 2038 or something like that.
Wow.
So in 18 years, guys, dual runners are gonna be a thing.
Yeah,
we can duel on motorcycles.
Yeah. I'll get into my piece in that in a second, but like yeah, up until like 5Ds. This isn't in the Japanese version, but in the English dub, they added a line in one of the episodes where it's like, "Oh yeah, this tournament is sponsored by the Maximilian Pegasus Memorial Foundation" or something like that.
Oh wow!
So yeah, by that we can assume that he's passed away, but that's like a dub only thing. But I mean, like in the Japanese version, there's no mention of him up until the movie.
Yeah, I think the English version of 5Ds, they reference like a ton of old characters. Like there's one character that they reference Joey and they say it's his cousin or something.
That wasn't in the Japanese version, but in the English version, they saw that and they knew what they wanted to do. They was like, "Oh no, it's his cousin Jesse Wheeler," and they even got Wayne Grayson to voice him again.
Yeah,
I think there was also there was one point where Yusei was talking about the Earthbound Immortals, and this is only in the English version, but he compares it to like Exodia. He's like, "They're powerful, kind of like Exodia."
Bruh.
Get it, guys? It's a sequel.
Oh, they got it. Connections.
But, it's like that Leo meme pointing. I know that.
I love that meme.
I love that meme so much.
I am, Gary, there I am.
So I was telling these guys earlier this week, but fun fact, just like how there are some Pokemon cards out there that are really valuable right now, like the original first few like cards, I would say. There are still actually a bunch of cards that are actually still really valuable. And I was telling these guys that the starter deck Kaiba card, Blue Eyes White Dragon, is $3,000 if you can get it in mint condition. Which is like, I don't know. As a kid, I feel like if you were collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! And you bought the starter deck Kaiba, like there are not many people that are going to be like, man, it's going to be worth $3,000 in the future. I better keep it. And so I guess I understand why it's worth so much. But turns out, so there are things like they made a bunch of toys after, right? Like especially in the Elemental Hero saga during GX, like they made a bunch of toys, and like Flame Wingman and Blade Edge and stuff like that, which also came with cards. Now, one Christmas I got the Blade Edge toy from a gift exchange, I think, and it came with the Elemental Hero Blade Edge card. And I was looking to see
play it, and then you could put the action figure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a real hologram, guys.
It was so cool. I still have it. It's sitting right here, but it like when I looked up the value of the card, it was like $250. I'm just like, no one ever sells the card apparently. But if someone does, it's $250 because it only came with the toy. So I was like, whoa, I'm playing this $250 card. But I mean, and the Flame Wingman actually is like
suddenly like an in real life version of Kaiba shows up, duels you for it, and then rips it up in front of you. Now it can't be used against me.
The Flame Wingman card that came with the toy, I think, was like $99,000 or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't printed often, apparently.
99,000?
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up the number.
It wasn't printed often. We don't feel.
I know of some really rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like I know there's this one card called Cyberstein that's super rare and super expensive. And I think it was only given to like people who participated in some tournament or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of prize cards for like tournament. Either you go to the tournament to give it to you, or like you win the tournament and they give you that as the prize card.
Yeah, and I remember Cyberstein especially because it has a really wild effect where if you deduct 5,000 life points from your life point counter, you can literally just summon a fusion monster from your extra deck. Yeah. Like without polymerization or anything. And I'm like, that's kind of insane. I know it's like 5,000 life points, but still.
Hey, if you have a powerful monster like Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or something like that, or like
Dragon Master Knight,
5-headed dragon, yeah, just like
well, it won't work for everything because remember there are some fusion monsters that are like you can only summon this with polymerization and the material monsters.
So that's why I was asking. Like, can it ignore summoning conditions and all that?
I don't think so. No, I think it's only for like the fusion monsters that don't specify that part in the beginning.
Because there are some cards.
But still, like Blue Eyes Ultimate, yeah, you can summon it.
Yeah.
With it.
Take a look at the link I sent. That's the one. It is actually $99,000.
Jeez, that reminds me of the Blue Eyes card that you showed us the other day for like started at Kaiba. Like one of the first ones that came out. Like it's like what is it like $30,000? Yeah, $3,000. Yeah.
For the SDK one, that's what. But like, if you have like one that's like just moderately played, it's only like $7 or $10 or something like that. That's the one that I'm trying to get my hands on because I'm just like,
yeah, you could get that on like TCG Player like right now.
Yeah, and so I'm just like not too expensive. But if I want a mint condition one, then I'm gonna have to apparently shell out 3 racks for it.
It's crazy how like those original starter decks are like super hard to come by now. Like
we
talked about it before. Yeah, we've talked about it before, but like the Pegasus one is something that I always wanted to get.
Yeah.
And like it was never available in any store that I saw. And
I remember
the one time I did find it, it was in Spanish and it was at the Target.
I always found the Kaiba one in Spanish.
Yeah. And those are like basically worthless. Because like you can't use them in the English game.
They're all like there's some resale value now. Like $68, $70. The Portuguese version is worth like $90.
Portuguese Pegasus.
And so it's like, there's some resale value, but it's not worth it, to be honest. I wouldn't have bought one and kept it for this long.
I'm looking at the Flame Wingman right now, and $99,000.
Yeah, I'm serious. Wow. Like, I'm surprised that it's actually that much, and I'm just like, wow, I missed out when I was a kid. Then.
That's more money than the highest attack value that they ever went to in GX.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Jaden better put a card sleeve on that.
I've never understood how no one in the shows never uses card sleeves.
Yo, I don't get that. How is everyone able to keep their cards in good condition?
I'm like, damn, bro, I want to live in this universe because they can like toss them in the water and you'll just fish them out.
Dude,
and it's fine.
You can jam them into guns to stop them from firing. You can shove them into people's skins to hurt their hand. This is stuff that they actually do in the show, mind you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you could literally threaten someone at like
With a card.
With a card.
Yeah,
like-
I've never understood that.
That's like RoboCop, where like his the flash drive in his suit doubles as a knife.
Oh my god! Right. I remember this.
Yeah, and it's funny too because he's in Mortal Kombat now, and you can actually use that.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, they
I know
confirmed him the other day in the new combat pack. He's part of it, and you can actually use the flash drive.
That is
flash drive knife.
Oh my god, that's actually really cool.
They actually got his original actor back to voice him in the.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, like the guy who played him in the original movie?
Yeah, they got the actual original RoboCop actor back to voice him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, kind of like how they did with Spawn. With they got the voice from the TV series.
Now all they need is to put the Terminator in there.
He's already in there.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's in there. They put him in there as part of a promotion for Terminator Dark something.
Whatever. Yeah, the last movie that came
out. So he appears in the game, and he takes on his latest look from that movie, but you could also change his costume to the original appearance.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
So voiced by Arnold, right?
Voiced by Arnold, yeah. So you can do Terminator versus RoboCop for the first time in a fighting game now.
Man, it's awesome how you can get the original, the former governor of California.
Or is it actually? Let me look it up. It might be an impressionist because I know Arnold is like probably like busy, but I don't know. Let me look right now.
That's
but
actually
the combat pack is getting pretty crazy. There's I know we're on a tangent right now, but I just want to say real quick that there's been a lot of crazy Mortal Kombat leaks. Like, there's one apparently with that Ash from Evil Dead is going to be in there, and if that's true, there's a possibility that we might also get Deadpool, which is to me is crazy because the Joker is a playable character in this Mortal Kombat game. So I'm like, if that's true, this might be the first time we get Marvel versus DC in a fighting game. To some extent.
I swear, I'm sorry, Ray. I thought you were gonna be like, this is gonna be the Avengers Endgame.
I would have left the podcast at that point.
Bring that back.
No, but no, that's actually really cool. Because, like, I feel like I remember hearing that Ash versus the Evil Dead is going to be like in there. I know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I stopped like thinking, nah, this character is not viable once fucking Negan from Walking Dead showed up.
Yeah. Anyone's game now.
I'm actually really surprised because Negan doesn't really have anything besides Lucille as his like his ability essentially. So they
do what they can, yeah. It's funny
in real life he doesn't stand a chance against somebody like Raid or anyone, right?
Yeah.
But
realistically speaking, the entire cast of Tekken will be able to kick his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, you can fight on even grounds with them here.
Yeah, but I still appreciate the fact that he's in there, and I did really like my favorite. I still think even though I'm not a big fan, not that I'm not a big fan. I'm actually physically terrified of Freddy Krueger, but like the fact
physically, not emotionally, just physically.
But when they brought him in that Mortal Kombat 10, was it 10 or whatever the reboot? It was 9. That
was the first game where they started rebooting everything.
Yeah,
rebooting, and when they started to get their groove back, because for a time, Mortal Kombat was like trailing off and not being a good game.
Yeah, I remember that, and that's when they introduced. They had because I had that game I think on 360, and they brought Freddy Krueger in that, and I was like, "Yo, this is so dope." And now they have Jason in there. I don't think they have Freddy Krueger in the recent game. But they have Leatherface though.
The last game, but yeah. Like you can buy that and you can play as him in that. They also had a Alien and Predator in the previous one too.
And TMNT is in Injustice, right?
Yeah, they're in Injustice too, along with Hellboy, and as well as Raiden and Sub-Zero.
Man, speaking of Hellboy, that is such a depressing thing that happened to that remake that they did.
Oh yeah.
It is so unfortunate because I know David Harbour is actually like a really good actor. And I remember, I think we talked about this last year around the time the movie, we were like thinking about whether or not we wanted to see the movie. And I said, you know what? This looks cool. They have David Harbour playing as Hellboy. And now I'm thinking, holy shit. That movie really got destroyed by ratings. And like, it sucks because I know Hellboy has like, I mean, it's good. I mean, I heard the original was good, right? I'm not bugging out, right?
For the first Hellboy movie, I think I heard people enjoyed it. I don't know if it was a good movie, but I know people remember it fondly.
Yeah,
like in the same way that Mortal Kombat the movie like was enjoyed.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't, it really sucks because I remember hearing, I think, like somewhat okay things about that first one. And then there just couldn't have been anything bad. But I thought everyone thought it was going to be good, the last Hellboy movie that came out. But it didn't.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. It's kind of sad, to be honest.
I mean, it still brought him enough, like, fame that they still decided, yeah, we're still going for, he's still going to be in the next Stranger Things season. I love that they just spoiled it in the trailer, honestly. That was actually really, like, for anyone that doesn't know, after the end of season 3, something happens, and the fate of David Harbour's character Hopper in Stranger Things is kind of left unknown, and then it just turns out that in the trailer for the next,
they just show him.
They just show him, and I'm
like, it's a spoiler. They spoiled the fact that he's gonna be in it.
Yeah, like, I mean, look, I guess if they want to, they can do it. And I'm also hearing that the fourth season is going to be the end of the current timeline. From a lot of people, I've heard that that's going to be the end of the current timeline, and then if they choose to do another season after this, it's going to be like a completely different story, related though, like different characters maybe, or the same characters but maybe like 20 years down the line or something like that. I don't know the full details, but that's what I heard. Anyways, yeah, it's so stupid. Like, I was, as much as I as a person, I definitely wanted to know whether he was still like alive and well, or where he was. And then the trailer just said, "Hey, look, there he is." It's like and something we were talking about earlier. It's like how in every single, a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Japanese titles,
yeah,
they
like
spoil
the next time clips and the titles, and also the. It's funny too because as I said earlier, I finished up the last episode of the Duelist Kingdom saga today, which was the Yugi versus Duke Devlin Dungeon Dice Monsters match.
Yeah,
and the weird thing about that last episode of that arc is that they play the season 2 opening and ending themes, which is weird because like you would think that would be part of season 1 and not season 2.
Yeah.
So you're spoiled by like a lot of the like Kaiba's new jacket and cards and Merrick being there. Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what the point of their what they're trying to prove here in the case of Stranger Things, and even in the case of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know.
You guys already know he's gonna win.
Yeah, it's like I guess we all know technically he's gonna win, but there are a lot of times where people are surprised that he loses. And there was like, even when I watched the 3rd season of Stranger Things,
will Yugi be defeated next time? Yugi defeated. That's my favorite thing from Dragon Ball. Like the Frieza saga is like, will Frieza be defeated next episode? Frieza defeated. Like that was a real title.
Dragon Ball Z.
No, yeah, exactly. It's just like, you don't have.
How long will the quarantine last? The quarantine. The Frieza saga.
How long will the quarantine last? Next time on Dragon
Ball Z.
Quarantine Lifted. It's funny. I was just thinking about earlier this week about Dragon Ball Evolution. Well,
Dragon Ball Evolution.
I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I wasn't there some news about it recently or something like that.
How the director came out and said he apologized for the movie.
Yeah.
Wait, which movie?
For
the Dragon Ball live action movie?
It was a while ago, like a couple of years back, but like, yeah, he came out and said that, yeah, I'm sorry for making Dragon Ball Evolution. I've never seen it first, and
I'm sorry.
We ignored Toriyama.
I feel bad for the guy. Damn.
Yeah.
Like, even Toriyama, like, I think we said this before, but like Toriyama was.
You want your dish?
He gave them notes to like help with the movie and all that. Like he was there helping, and they ignored all of it. And he was so pissed by that.
Yeah, because Hollywood sucks when it comes to adapting something from Japan.
Yeah, and that messed him up so much that he literally brought Dragon Ball back, and that's why we have Super and all these movies now.
Oh right. Man, that's
God. Remember when that Dragon Ball live action movie like had a fucking sequel tease at the end?
Oh my god, yes.
What a laugh.
Where they revived Piccolo with fucking wonton soup.
Yeah, they were teasing a sequel. I'm like, that's really bold of you to assume this movie is going to do so well that it's going to get a sequel. Okay.
I remember my dad and we were watching that on like HBO or something. We were confused as fuck.
I think they were harping on the fact that, oh yeah, the Dragon Ball fandom will forgive us and we'll be able to do this.
You would have thought.
It's time
Don't
for you to
ever think that with anime fandoms. Ever.
That was such a shitty movie, man.
It is time for you to learn the Kamehameha.
I heard Ghost in the Shell like suffered the same exact thing.
Ghost in the Shell was also bad. Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
I'm not sure that they.
I never saw it, but I just know it was shitty.
I'm not sure. Did they show that? Like, did they tease a sequel at the end?
For Ghost in the Shell, I'm not sure.
For the live action movie, nah, bro. Most of these live action anime movies are just made for, I guess, like, I don't know.
They think they can just bank off of the name alone, so they barely try.
Yeah.
I mean, last time Ghost in the Shell was relevant.
There's a few of them that actually do it really well. Like Detective Pikachu was done really well.
I mean, well, that's a video game movie, not an anime movie.
I mean,
like it's not like, you know what I mean.
Well, I guess like not
to be clear, in the sense
like
that
anything that's not live action, like animated series. So with that, Eric, I'm saying like not just anime, but video games too that get their first or like they get a live action adaptation. Some of them are done really well, some of them aren't.
Oh, you meant like in general? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu was fine. I don't think it's like amazing or anything, but if you're a Pokemon fan, then yeah, I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
It helps that the fucking Pokemon company was on the set helping them out, making sure that nothing was being.
And this time they actually listened.
Listened. And now, yeah, if you watch that movie, it feels like a legit part of the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, no, it does, and I actually really enjoyed it when we went to go watch it.
Same.
Like, it was actually funny because I was once taking an Uber. And
the credits with the Ken Sugimori art is especially really cool because this is the seal of approval. Yeah, you were saying no?
The Uber that I was in, I was on my way to work, and it was the guy had a DVD player in the back or something. I don't know how it worked, but my man was playing Detective Pikachu, and the movie wasn't out on DVD
3DS
yet.
Game?
No, he was playing he was driving
like a digital copy or something.
Movie. He played the movie in the back of the seat while we were on my way to work, and I was just like, "Oh shit, okay." So I managed to catch the first half an hour of Detective Pikachu.
I'm not going to be able to finish this, but hey, free movie.
Yeah, I mean the movie is funny. The movie stopped as soon as we got to my destination, so it was just cool. I mean, I didn't expect that to happen, especially with Detective Pikachu. I thought if anything, they usually have like
you sir look like a Pokemon fan.
They usually have like selected media already. It's like usually like news media or something like that, or like Home Improvement or something like that.
Home Improvement, like the show with Tim Allen.
No,
yeah, I was gonna say like what?
home improvement tips, like today we're gonna teach you how to, yeah, exactly. We're gonna teach you how to paint your wall blue. Something.
How to paint your wall blue.
How to paint your
Step
wall
one,
blue.
buy blue paint from Home Depot.
No, I'm serious. There are taxis that will do that, and they'll just be like, and the media will be like, oh yeah. So first, you want to start by going to your local hardware store. At your local hardware store, you'll find usually a huge selection of paints. Now, the one you want to go to, and then they'll teach you how to read the paint, and then they'll be like, "This is
here's how to speak English."
Exactly, and just like,
Alright.
okay. So here's the one that you're gonna use. And then you're also going to buy a brush. Now, the brush can't be, like, they go into all this detail about how to go about buying the paint and the brush and all the materials you need. And then they're just like, and so now you're going to apply one coat. Remember to only use, like, I wish I was making any of this up, but this is actually all, like, I've seen this before, either on HDTV or HGTV. And also on
HGTV.
And also in taxis. A lot of things that a lot of taxis like to do, though, they like to have like videos about like things to do in New York City or something like that. Nah, this one's like, teach you how to paint your wall blue, everybody. It makes me really, really miss going out into the city in like a taxi, or even just going out to the park in like Central Park.
Oh yeah,
man, we need to go to that rock again.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, the rock. Yo, we should tell the viewers what the rock is, though, because I don't think we've talked about it.
Because we keep mentioning it.
Once upon a time, in a
the rock is like, at the end of every season of our arcs, we go to the rock. That's what the rock is.
There's a certain rock in Central Park that we go to, and we just lie down and look at the sky, talk about life,
eat snacks, talk about life.
Snacks.
Yeah, all my New Yorkers, you know which rock I'm talking about. It's the one.
Yeah, if you live in New York, you know which one.
It's
like the only rock that.
If you're from New York, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know,
you know
the rock you.
It's like if we mention a certain street, like a New Yorker listening to this podcast would just be like, "Oh
yeah, yeah." It's
Fordham, I know that.
Yo, 164th Street.
It's
you know what 25th and Lex?
Southern tip of Central Park. Like I would say, like right. I would guess you.
Don't specify it, dude. Leave it up to the viewers to find out where this rock is. And if they don't know, they can just find out by watching more.
Yo, if you guys know where this rock is, so challenge. After this is all over, because we don't want you guys going outside officially, but when this pandemic is over, and if you guys actually remember this later on, go out to Central Park if you're in New York and find that rock. If you take a picture of it and you send it to our Twitter at brothers_Inkling. Just send that to us, and then you'll win a prize or something like that.
Oh my
God. We'll shout you out on the show. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, we got you.
Brothers Inkling, I think it is. Yeah,
but yeah,
find the rock.
So I mean, that's actually it is kind of like it's kind of like a tradition. We don't do it every year, but we do it like every once in a while. Like
I remember the first time that we really went over there and just to lie down and just talk about life and stuff is when
I remember it happened because I was the one who suggested it. We didn't even know we were supposed to see Batman versus Superman.
Superman, yep.
And we completely dubbed that plan. And I was like, "Yo, let's go to the park." I think
you had your football.
What happened?
No, it wasn't a football. It was a Nerf ball.
The Nerf ball, yeah.
What happened was that when we went that day, that night, it was completely packed because there were too many, normies that were really hyped to be like, "Yo, Batman versus Superman, let's do this!" And so
I don't know. I feel like there were plenty of comic book geeks there.
It got to the point where literally the people in the theater were like, "It is now impossible to see Batman versus Superman or buy a ticket for this movie."
Impossible.
Yeah, like they straight up said that. So
the next ticket to see Batman versus Superman is available in 3 years.
Yeah, and no, seriously,
like a few weeks later, there was not that many people for Civil War.
Yeah, the only seats at the world.
When are they going to release the Batman versus Superman Snyder Cut?
Oh yeah, that's coming to HBO Max.
Yeah, they're
Well, the Justice League Snyder Cut, not the
Justice League. But
yeah,
maybe they'll.
Well, yeah. Is there a Snyder Cut of that too?
The Justice League?
Probably. No, Batman versus
Oh,
Superman.
the Batman versus Superman.
Well, that
Probably
was already
there
his
is,
cut.
but they
That's-
probably
that's-
won't.
That's the joke.
It was already out.
I think well,
Like the original cut is his cut.
No, but wait, Eric.
Oh, word. Yeah, you're right.
Whoever made the cut for Justice League, then we need their cut for Batman versus Superman. So
I think that was Joss Whedon's cut of
Yeah,
Justice
we need
League.
to give me the Joss Whedon cut of Batman versus Superman. Maybe it's a better movie.
Give me the.
So we can get like a
You
shady
go into a
fucking
bodega. What do you want?
Hulk
Give me the
and
Joss
Black
Whedon
Widow
cut of
romance
Batman
again. I don't know,
versus
bro.
Superman.
Is it
Forced
actually all
humor
that different?
everywhere. Yeah.
No, actually, is it all that different? The Zack Snyder cut?
I don't know. I mean, maybe
Of
it
what?
is.
not-
It
There were
hasn't
people
come out
asking
yet,
about
bro.
it,
How
and
we
now it's
supposed
gonna
to
come
know?
out.
Yeah,
we gotta wait
exactly.
till next
Fuck.
year when it comes out.
No, mostly because it was making like a lot of big news in the past 24 to 48 hours. And people are like,
Well,
like,
yeah, that's why I
guys,
brought it up
Zack
because HBO was finally like,
Because
we
HBO
did
Max
it.
is gonna get it.
HBO pulled Steve Jobs, and they're like, yep, we did
We
it.
know, guys. It's coming.
It's
but
coming.
why is it famous or infamous?
I don't know.
To be honest, I have no idea. Maybe
I
people
think
think it's gonna be better.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I
because-
guess people just assume it'll be better, but I don't know.
I think it's because
But
people
yeah.
just read news articles about like, oh yeah, there was originally like a version like Zack Snyder, put together, and that version didn't make the final cut for theaters. Like, so we just put together a different version.
Man,
So
they're
now-
gonna be they're gonna be in for a rude awakening when they realize the movie is not gonna be that much better once the Snyder Cut comes out. But okay,
Really, the same footage, just
I
put
mean,
it.
if Batman vs Superman was like any less than then what do people expect? It's not going to be like something completely different.
Oh
But
my
hey,
god,
something,
alive.
something that is actually on HBO. It's on HBO Go and also which is going to become HBO Max. The Joker movie is up on there right now.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
So if you guys
the You Get What You Deserve.
yes,
movie?
You get what you fucking deserve.
yeah, that one is already out on HBO. It's super cool. I still haven't watched, but I saw it and I was like, whoa, that's cool that it has it. Lots of really good stuff, I guess, to come on that. Elmo's getting a late night show.
When Ray said, "Let me get the Joss Whedon cut," I was like, "Is that how you order at a bodega, Ray?" He's like, "What do you want? Let me get the Joss Whedon cut of Batman vs Superman."
Yo, coming right up, bro.
Hey, yo,
I feel like
pickles.
a Joss
While they
Whedon
give
cut
you
of
the haircut,
Batman.
they play it on the TV.
I feel like a Joss Whedon cut of Batman versus Superman would not be that much better.
It probably wouldn't, to be honest.
I don't even know anymore, man. All I know is that day that we wanted to go see Batman vs Superman. It didn't happen.
Well, I don't know if
So
we
I'm like, let's go to
wanted
the
to. I
park.
think we
And
were
we
just
found the
morbidly
rock.
curious.
yeah,
I didn't want to. Yeah, it wasn't a we thing. I didn't want to. I forgot whose idea it was.
I think it was Lawrence's. It's
it was
probably
my idea, but we were
Yeah,
all
we were. The
curious.
thing is that we were debating if we wanted to actually go see it or not. And then by the time we got there and we saw like the huge crowds,
It
and
wasn't
saying,
happening.
like,
Yeah,
and
then I think Isaac or whatever was like, let's just go to the Central Park.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we
no,
ended up going to
It was like
The Rock.
nighttime at this point too,
yeah,
Like, it
and
was
then
dark
didn't
out.
stay there until like 11, 12.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Henry was
that-
with us too.
Henry was with us too.
yeah. Henry was with us because that's when he still hung out with us.
Yeah.
What happened after that season, man?
Well, I mean that in the sense that he's not around as often anymore.
So
Yeah,
we
no,
learned two
had
things that after that season at the Rock episode, Henry disappeared.
Well, he did.
And-
He did. Remember?
And Ray went to the barber and he was
After
like, "Let me get." And Ray went to the barber and he was like, "Let me get the Joss Whedon cut of Batman vs Superman."
God. So no, I remember because after that, not too soon after that, we went to Eric's place to hang out. This was around that time.
Really?
Yeah, and then when we got there, that was when Henry told us that was his last day in New York. You remember?
Right, I remember that. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is what I
and-
meant earlier when I said back when he was still able to hang out with us a lot because
Yeah.
he had a whole thing where he had to go away for a long time. But yeah.
Yeah. And so
That's what I said. Like after that season,
he
everything
was gone
changed.
for like
He's
a
gone,
year.
yeah.
And then when he came back, I mean, he still wasn't really around. We saw him every couple of few months.
And we
more
were
often now,
online at the very least.
Yeah,
he joined us for that one podcast in our first season where he had a really bad connection.
I remember.
Yeah, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Because apparently his family at home was using up all the data.
So he sounded like an Autobot most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember the second time that we went to the park, to the Rock, we tried to invite Henry, but I think Henry was busy that day. But he was available. He was busy.
Wasn't that when me and Eric were like talking about the latest stuff that was happening in X and Y with Ash and Serena?
I think so. Because
and then you were just surprised about all of it. Is like, what? Ash is in a relationship?
Yes, I remember this now. Yeah,
I think I vaguely remember this because I brought up like a few things. I brought up how apparently like their shipping name trends on Twitter in Japan every time like a moment happens between them. I remember there was one moment where like Serena wears Ash's clothes, and at the very end of like that Gen 6, she actually kisses Ash.
Yeah. At the escalator, right?
Yeah.
And it's implied to be like an actual kiss, like not like a peck on the cheek.
Yeah, because you see Clement and Bonnie like blushing like heavily afterwards. It's like, what?
Yeah. And then of course Ash fucking forgets her immediately after.
Yeah, and just goes to a deserted island with a bunch of other people.
Ash is a prick. Girl kisses you and you don't even say anything, and then you never call her back.
She could have came with.
Oh,
I feel bad. I feel bad for every girl that falls for Ash because he's in love with.
Remember when 4Kids tried to do that with Misty and Ash?
Yeah, they really tried to like.
And they had, I don't know if you guys remember, but they had a soundtrack, a Christmas soundtrack, and there was one song on there. There was one song on there called "Under the Mistletoe." It was actually really catchy. It was like "Under the Mistletoe," right?
Wasn't there also in the 2B and Master soundtrack they had Misty's song?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Good
so
night, Rock. Good night,
in the Under the Mistletoe song, she's actually talking about Ash and like getting him under the mistletoe. And she's like, "I hope he comes and whatnot." And I'm just like, wow, that is like.
Well, they are like the same age, aren't they?
No, yeah, they are. But like, the thing is, like, they really tried super hard to ship that, and they were just like, nah.
Well, yeah, because Ash will never grow up, and he will never like settle down with a girl.
Have kids.
He's in love with Pikachu. He's not in love with anyone else.
Wait, have you guys watched the 3D?
Can you imagine Ash just like a 30-year-old bald motherfucker?
There are pictures of that.
I know, yeah, I've seen it.
You say like Ash is gonna be like Nigel Thornberry in the future?
Smashing.
My with my hands. Blah, blah, blah.
Did you guys watch the 3D Pokemon movie yet?
No, it looks weird.
Yeah,
the Mewtwo movie? No, I haven't.
I mean, I might watch it. I might watch it eventually, but I just haven't seen it yet. Although I will say it is pretty weird to see it redubbed with the new actors.
Did they already did they put the sequel out for that Pokemon I Choose You movie? The one that I went on a 30-minute rant about?
He's talking about the reboot like movies that they've been doing with Ash and Pikachu.
Oh no, I haven't seen.
No, they didn't put up a sequel. I didn't even know they made a sequel.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a sequel either.
I don't know if it's on Netflix, but I mean, yeah, it exists. There's an English dub of it, so.
Oh, okay.
That fucking 3D movie looks so weird to me. I'm sorry. It looks
the style. Does not look clean.
Simple and clean.
Is the way that
you're making me feel.
It's on. Like, talking about how earlier I was mentioning how like rewatching Avatar, it feels like he traveled back in time. I feel like I get that with basically anything at this point. Like if I listen to Simple and Clean, I'm like in my head, I'm imagining like 2002.
Oh my god, bro!
Like, era me like playing Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2. Like I still remember it.
Or when I hear Traverse Town's music.
Yeah, Traverse Town's theme was so good, so like memorable.
The only reason I remember this is because I remember there was like that sidekick. Remember that story I told a couple of weeks ago about that game, the Neo Geo or whatever the fuck by Square Enix.
N-Gage.
Neo Geo.
Okay, first of all, it's not by Square Enix. It's the N-Gage by Nokia.
Yeah. Also, Square Enix, Neo Geo, they're two separate companies. Just saying.
They're not even related to each other.
So the only time a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about the
Square and Neo Geo have ever
Lawrence would
collided
be
is
the guy that just
though.
comes up to us like, "Yo, guys, remember when Microsoft bought Sony?"
Nigga.
So a
God
couple
of War 3, I got that on
weeks
Xbox.
ago when I talked about the Square Enix handheld thing that
It wasn't Square Enix's though.
No. I told you guys the story that there was like something that either came with a bunch of Square Enix games or something.
Yo, you're Eric. It's Loon Rock.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Loon Rock.
God damn it! Gah!
So I remember
God, that
was
joke
around
is
the
so
time-
ancient at this point.
There was around this time they were playing commercials on TV, playing Simple and Clean, and I think Kingdom Hearts 1 was like around that time, or Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't remember which game was coming out was around that time because that was a long time ago.
Did you see characters wearing black coats?
Yes.
That in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so they played that song, and I was like, "Wow, I wonder this sounds like some like Celine Dion stuff, you know?"
Celine Dion sing Kingdom Hearts.
Celine Dion, like the Organization 13 coat.
I'm just imagining like a Kingdom Hearts A and B, like my heart will go on.
I'm pretty sure it exists somewhere.
Bro, I didn't know the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was part of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Wait, really?
Are you dead ass?
it is actually because there's a world. Well, no, never mind.
I'm talking about the one with the celebrities where like
Mickey
that's
Mouse
how they got their start.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I thought the kids version you were talking about.
What?
Toodles.
No, that's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I'm talking about like the Mickey Mouse, like the whatever that's.
Yeah. Now I know what you mean. The Toon Disney one.
No, not the
Man, Toon Disney. That's a trip right there.
not that one.
I still remember when that channel was a thing.
That's
I
House of
remember that.
Mouse. I'm talking about the one that I forgot what's this guy's name.
Oh,
like,
you mean the
bunch of-
Yeah. Got
a
it. The
bunch of
Justin
singers got their
Timberlake
start
one.
on there. Justin Timberlake was on there.
Yeah, Christina
What was
Aguilera.
it called? Wait, no.
The
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Yeah. The one where they like,
Oh, okay.
put out a bunch of music by like people like Hilary Duff and Justin
Okay,
Timberlake.
elaborate. I thought you were talking about the
The Disney Junior show.
Disney Junior show, yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's what it's called, Mickey Mouse
That would
Clubhouse.
be, I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, that would be a really cool world. And let me tell you why.
Club did what?
Just stop. Don't go there, man. Let's move on from that.
I'm the Kingdom Hearts expert here. I don't want
Let's
to hear
go
you.
back
so
to
let's move
talking.
on.
You already said two things that shouldn't happen. One, Celine Dion and Kingdom Hearts.
Well, in all fairness, Isaac, you know what does need to happen in Kingdom Hearts?
Ultimate Love Song Collection.
That, and also a Sweet Life World.
Oh my god!
Here's
As
Who
Mr.
would be
Ralphie
the final
Party.
boss of that
Get
world?
out of my lobby! And then he becomes.
Here's the running. No, running in the house, Sora.
I'm trying. I promise. I'm trying. I'm not gonna try and upset anyone. But this
Oh, dude, you already.
so
You're on thin ice.
if you guys remember Toontown, the game that came out,
Toontown Online.
Yeah,
was-
I
it
remember.
was a fun game. But anyways, they had some really cool
It was
models
basically
in there.
Disney's early Club Penguin, but
It
yeah.
was Disney's WoW.
Yeah, they had some. I mean, they had some really cool like models and lands in there. And so, what my point was trying to say is like it would have been cool maybe a cool world. It's not a necessity. It'd just be cool if they had like a Toontown world or something like that. And that's why I think like a place that even looked like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which looks like it takes place in like Toontown or something like that. It wouldn't be too far off, I think. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. See, like, to see any of the villains from Kingdom Heart kind of pop out of the ground or something like that in like the Toontown kind of world.
The closest you'll ever get to that is the Disney Town world in Birth by Sleep.
Which one? Which one is that one? Not the game. I mean, like what kind of like elements?
It's literally just a world that basically contains mini games.
Oh, okay.
In Birth by Sleep, yeah.
So this is what I get when I look up Disney Town on Google. I get Disney Town, a shopping, dining, and entertainment complex at Shanghai Disney Resort in Shanghai.
Shanghai,
China.
That. Yeah.
This is what I got on Wiki. I think my favorite town all right, so memorable towns, not my favorites, but definitely Aladdin World, definitely Hercules.
World, yep. Hercules World
that fight against Cloud is so fucking memorable in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, that's when they really like had so much Final Fantasy, and in Kingdom Hearts 1 it had like a ton of it.
Dude, and then they just kind of the Toy Story World in Kingdom Hearts 3. Right?
Toy Story World in Kingdom Hearts 3 was fun, but the story was kind of like not too much. Because the story is basically, the other toys disappeared. Let's try and find them. Oh man, we still can't find them.
Turns out
it doesn't matter that we don't need. And then
turns out they're in an alternate fucking dimension.
Yeah, and then at the end it's like, whatever. I guess they're just not here right now, but it's okay because they're still in our hearts.
We'll find them.
Wow. Okay, this is canon apparently.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, obviously we know that Woody and Buzz eventually find their way back because this is, by Pixar's word, officially canon to the Toy Story mythos. So this does happen.
But yeah, the Toy Story world was fun outside of the story being kind of nothing. But yeah,
that's
Woody canonically stomped Xehanort shit in.
That the Toy Story world is kind of.
I love that meme that happened for the longest time of that screenshot of like Woody like holding Sora back. It's like no.
Yeah, I remember that meme. Yeah, and the only reason why I brought up like why Toontown would have been like, it would have been cool to see, was because of the Toy Story world. I just kind of pictured it happening. I mean, that's just me. I just thought it would be cool.
It's crazy that movie
Big Hero
came
6
out.
world.
Oh, that was a fun world. It's really big too.
Which one?
The Big Hero 6
San Francisco.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That world was fun. Yeah.
Did they? Was Cars World a thing?
No.
Thank God.
Okay. Oh my God.
Fucking car versions of
Donald and Goofy as cars.
How would they hold the Keyblade with their teeth?
I think I saw that as a meme, but not a real one.
It is a meme, yeah.
Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater as party members. What would their attacks be?
Please don't ever put cars in
Tow Mater. Well, don't you
there was a Cars video game too that made it, sadly, to I remember there was a PSP game that I wanted.
I had the Cars.
I had the
Wii game considered good actually.
There was a Wii game. There was a Cars Wii game that I had that I used the Wii wheel in, and it actually was like pretty decent. It was a racing game. Go figure.
I mean, it's Cars.
Yeah, go figure. It's a racing game.
Imagine it's not a racing game.
Well, I mean,
it's a fucking JRPG.
It really
I love how we both said the same
Cars
thing.
You level up like your wheels and your motor.
Upgrades.
It wouldn't surprise me just because like knowing Disney, they'd be like, yo, so let's make this game a platformer. And I don't even know what Cars 2 looks like, but it wouldn't surprise me if Cars 2 was a platformer.
Shut up.
That'd be so fucking retarded.
How would he jump?
Yeah, like what?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be weird if it was.
There's no
Cars, but
platformer.
Persona 5.
They're all racing.
I'm sorry, what you said?
They're all racing games. Like, what is this? What do you mean? Like, what if it was a platformer?
No, I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying that, like,
is this what you think of? Like, do you just think of like the most outlandish things for anything?
Yes, I do.
When you said Cars is a platformer,
where's the Yu-Gi-Oh dating sim? Like, goddamn.
Yo, when you said Cars platformer earlier, I just thought of like someone modifying like Mickey Mouse capades on NES, but with the Cars characters in 8-bit form.
Yeah. Or, that's why I thought That's why I was.
Or what?
I mean, that's why. Honestly, I wouldn't even I wouldn't put it past Disney to be like, "Yo, none of these Cars games are actually racing games."
I thought you were saying none of these Cars games are actually canon.
No. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because the Cars canon is something people.
I'm pretty
really
sure
care
they're
about.
all racing games. I'm just saying that it wouldn't surprise me if Disney was like, "Nah, let's not make it a racing game."
What else could they do? Cars
Make it
dating
a
sim.
fucking
Take the
open world
female car.
a GTA style
dating
car.
sim.
Yo, I've seen the Cars movie. There's not even much of an open world to explore, so they can't even make a GTA game out of it.
There's no people. Like you can't even run over people.
Yeah,
Cars GTA. Can you imagine you kill a car?
Well, that's happened. You see that
Push
that's
them off
happened
a
in
cliff.
movies, though. Like they destroyed cars, and that's how they get killed off.
Push him off a cliff. No, smash him underneath the trash compactor.
All right, you've been
Jesus
thinking
Christ,
too much about
Lawrence.
this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. No more suggestions from Lawrence anymore before we get Celine Dion in a Cars RPG.
Celine Dion voices in a character in the Cars RPG.
Oh my God.
You just didn't know.
Greatest love song.
I used to be when I was a kid.
I'm dead. We thought Simple and Clean was a Celine Dion song.
When I was a kid, yes.
Right. It's Utada. That's the name of the singer.
No, I know that now.
Yo, I forgot to ask this, but since we were talking about Disney games, did any of you guys ever buy like the point and click, some of the PC point and click games made by Disney?
For Disney, no.
For Disney,
There was one point. There was like they're PC games, but there was like a Toy Story PC game, point and click adventure. There was a Finding Nemo like video game that was point and click. Those were really fun.
No, the only one that I remember, and I'm not sure how long ago I mentioned this, but that Tarzan game that I played.
Was it like when did it come out? Like what gen?
It was PC.
Oh, what console? PC. I
Yeah.
had a Tarzan game on PlayStation. The demo though, it was pretty fun.
I know I had a Jungle Book game on Game Boy Advance that it was an open world kind of thing, and you play as Mowgli and you go around and you play different kinds of mini games to get through the first story of the first movie basically. And I remember
All those games were. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the hardest part was trying to resist the hypnotism from Kai, I think it was the snake. Like that was the hardest part as a kid, but eventually I did get over it and I got to explore a bit more of the game. I remember it being pretty fun.
I didn't have any of them.
Yeah, those were like the Disney interactive games. Those are fun.
Those
Yeah.
were the Disney dating sims that Lawrence
Yeah.
really wants.
You know that, yo,
Take-
Eric, you. Funny you mentioned that, bro. There was a That's So Raven game that was a dating sim.
What?
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry, Isaac. Repeat.
I'm sorry. Wait, can you say that again?
On DisneyChannel.com, there was a That's So Raven game where you could write letters to the characters and confess your love to them.
What?
Bro, really? You could confess to Corey?
Like you could write whatever you wanted in letters to them. So like,
He's a
it'd
man.
be like you could talk to Corey. He'd be like, you
Corey,
could talk to
please be
Raven,
my
send her a
man.
letter. You could talk to Corey. He'd be like, yo, what's up, man? What do you want to tell me?
Hey, yo, what's good, dog?
Hey, what's up, dog? You send him a letter. He's like, and they had
Don't wanna
generic
meet up with
responses.
me, bro.
It would be like you write a letter to Corey, you type it, and then click send, and then Corey would it'd be like Corey read it. He'd say something generic like, "Oh wow, so cool." So imagine you tell Corey like, "Hey yo, fuck you, man." Okay, that's cool.
What the fuck?
Hey, yo,
I'm
that's
fine,
cool, man.
but there was also the DisneyChannel.com mini games like the sandwich stacker game from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I remember that.
I used to
yeah.
go hard in those games.
Dude, have you guys ever Isaac? I know you remember the computer lab and S&T with like Disney.com and all that. How that was a website people were able to go to and just play games on, and the user interface looked like Disney World itself, like the park and all that.
Yeah,
And there were
That I
like
vaguely
sections
remember.
like, oh yeah, here's the Disney Channel section. Here's the Disney movie section. Here's the Toon Disney section.
those websites were styled out. Like they had really good design.
Yeah. I played, back in the day.
I remember when Disney Channel original movies were like an event.
Yeah.
Like it was something I always looked forward to.
Me too.
You want to know the reason why? Because like a lot of they wouldn't have them on DVD for a really long time, and then they also wouldn't like replay them for like a few months. like some of these movies, like especially like the High School Musical movies or any of those like Disney Channel like originals. They wouldn't.
Oh no, dude, I have to disagree. I remember they did replay High School Musical a bunch of times, but with other movies, I remember they waited.
Yeah. Like
because I didn't catch High School Musical when it premiered. I caught it like
I
the
didn't
second
either.
time.
Yeah.
I
didn't
remember
catch
they
either of the
re-aired
first
it.
two
They
when
aired it
they
so
premiered.
much, like I think weeks after. They had like a whole summer.
Yeah,
season
no,
of High
yeah. It
School
wouldn't
Musical.
it wouldn't be like directly like, oh yeah, catch the encore premiere tomorrow night or something. It'd be like a few weeks, or like a month or something like that before you got a chance to watch it again. That was something that I experienced as a kid that I was just like, man, I have to wait.
Man.
I can't see Vanessa Ann Hudgens now. I'll just look at her nude.
Oh my god.
Her nudes are amazing, though.
I can't see Vanessa Ann Hudgens in anything except this new story that came out with her and Drake Bell.
Wait,
know,
what?
The story about her sharing her nudes with Drake Bell.
Oh, nice.
Drake Bell was apparently the one who leaked it.
Yeah, that was a thing back in the day that everyone was talking about.
And mind you, this is before the era of iPhone. So she took it. That means that however she sent it to him, she took it on a flip phone and sent it to Drake Bell, and he had to message it to 30 people.
Oh my
so it was like a fucking chain mail.
Jesus.
This is why Nickelodeon and Disney don't work together.
Drake, how'd my nudes leak? I don't know. Megan.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
So one of the things I think that's been actually like very positive, I think, about like Disney Plus is that I can relive like my early days of watching a lot of these Disney Channel originals. They have, I mean, their library is
You're late.
they have a lot, like their library is massive. I'll be honest.
Eric.
I've been watching a lot of Boy Meets World. That's kind of one thing that like I'm kind of on and off whenever I get a chance to.
Topanga.
I remember when like at the beginning, she wasn't even really like she wasn't even more of an afterthought for him, and then she just like I think after the first season, they're like, yeah, now we have to hammer that relationship hard. But I mean, again, the show still really holds up, and I actually really appreciate it.
Oh man, you know what my favorite Disney Plus show is?
What?
The Jonas Brothers arc.
I actually watched the Jonas TV show when around the time that I first got Disney Plus.
I never watched it, bro.
I had to watch it just because of the whole Jonas arc meme that we were talking about. So I watched the entire thing.
I think I caught like 2 episodes of Jonas when it was on Disney Channel because by then I was already like in high school.
Yeah, I didn't catch too much of it growing up, but I didn't know enough to like be like, oh yeah, right, I remember this episode. And
I remember like 7th or 8th grade, there were girls in my class that were into Jonas Brothers, Justin Bieber, and I think like BTS. Wait, no, not BTS.
BTR.
Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
BTR, yeah.
I spent I would always ask my parents to buy me these like teen magazines growing up because I wanted the posters inside because I wanted to.
That's another thing that's gone to with Disney Channel like live action movie premieres, teen magazines.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's still a population that likes them, but mostly
they're a group of men between the age of 40 and 60.
Most kids nowadays, they usually do like they're usually on Instagram or TikTok, and usually the people they focus on in the magazines are like Instagram and TikTok stars like Charlie D'Amelio and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different kind of landscape now. You don't really see a lot of the
I was never like that, man. Like, I mean, I get it. I get why kids get into celebrities because maybe they see them in like their favorite show or movie. I don't get why like kids follow Instagram or TikTok stars. To me, it just like it baffles me. But every generation has its thing.
Yeah, it's just the same trend that we were in, like especially like with something I think we talked about in I think it was the Planet Sheen episode. Where like we were saying like, oh, the fact that we like stars like even like Zendaya or like Bella Thorne or
That's because Zendaya and Bella Thorne
they were around. They're our age. Something we brought.
Yeah,
up.
we're trying to
our age, so we were just like damn.
Eric in the back, yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to suck their toes.
I zoned out for a little bit. So what?
No, Eric, you can say zoned
then
out.
somebody
Just
like
ignore what I said. That
somebody like Brenda Song or Ashley Tisdale or something. They were obviously like 5 or 6 years older, so we were just like, damn, bro, I don't got a chance in hell.
No, hell yeah.
I mean, we still
5 or 6
don't.
years old is perfect.
We still don't, but like we still like we always had like that sliver of
Speak
like
for yourself, fellas.
faith in
I
our
have Celine Dion unlocked in Kingdom Hearts. I got a chance. On DisneyChannel.com.
In the more recent Spider-Man movie, she looks. I'll be honest, she still looks really young, and I'm surprised how like there are times when I'm like, damn, you look like you're like 25, 26 at least, and then like
you said young, but she's younger than that.
No,
yeah, she's younger than that.
Yeah, no, she's our age.
But you said
you said
in
25 and 26
that she looks young,
wow,
and then he said 25.
No, I'm saying that like in Spider-Man, she looks like she's like maybe 16, 17 younger.
Why'd you say 26 and 28 then?
I say that in other like forms of places you've seen her, like I would say even The Greatest Showman, she does look a lot older than like 16 or 17. She definitely looks like 24, 25.
Lawrence.
What?
You said yeah, in Spider-Man, she looks so much younger to like 26, 28.
No,
you might have misspoken that part.
Yeah,
you probably meant to say that, damn, you look young in Spider-Man, but you look like you could be in your 20s.
Yeah, in real life, she looks way older.
So in real life, she does look older, but I guess in Spider-Man, I get that. Like she looks like she could be a teen actor.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I mean, Tom Holland.
She's in that
too, and Tom Holland is, I think, he's either older than us or just like around our age. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, no, it's really weird. And I don't think they use de-aging in that movie. I think that'd be kind of weird.
I hate that technology. It looks so weird.
Yeah. They did it with Nick Fury, right?
What did they do it in Star Wars too? I think.
Did they do it in Star Wars?
They did it in Star Wars, yeah, with one of the actors from the original trilogy in Rogue One.
Was it Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought they did it at least for. I mean, like rest in peace to Carrie Fisher, but when they showed her in that scene, like a younger version of her, I thought that was the aging.
Well, I think wasn't she? Hadn't she passed away at that point?
Yeah,
she did. Yeah, but I thought they also played like there was a scene where there was a young Leia too. I don't remember if that was in.
Yeah, it was at the very end, but I think they were like using like I don't know how they did it, but they were using stuff maybe. like old footage of her for it,
and they just digitized it onto like somebody else's face, somebody else's body,
something like that. But yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, I mean,
movies. That's where when movies do that. I don't like it either.
Yeah, I'm personally like, I get why people do it, especially like if someone dies in the heat of the moment, like in the middle of shooting the movie, they're just like, man, now we have to figure out.
That's crazy if that ever happens. If someone dies like while the movie's shooting.
That happened. That
hasn't happened since like the last time I remember. The last time I remember reading about that was like when Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah, the Crow.
Isaac, I was about to bring up the same example because I saw the last movie he was in just recently on TV.
The Crow.
Yeah.
The Crow. Yeah. He died midway through shooting, so certain scenes they had to get like a stunt double, or they had to put like him completely in shadow or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy because also at the time, like movies, there was no technology to like, digitize someone else with that face. But yeah, that's the only time I know where somebody died like in the heat of the moment, like you were saying, Lawrence. Yeah. I've heard of people dying like in the middle of shoots, like they just or in between releases of movies, like Carrie Fisher, he passed away.
Yeah.
This guy, Paul Walker, he died in between.
Oh yeah.
They're releasing the movie, so they had to use his
I
brother.
think they used the. Did they use the
He
digital
used his brother.
thing there, or no? They used
They used his brother, and then they digitized his face.
Well, that and also they wrote out his character at the very end. Like they made it so that, and they apparently did it in a very nice way too. Like I guess like
they
the
have
character
the tribute
retires or
with the song.
something.
Yeah, he like leaves the family and raises a kid.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, they're still gonna go forward with the rest of the Fast and Furious movies, which is nice.
I mean, they have, as you can tell, because we saw one like way
yeah,
back.
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah. And so one of the things I guess that puzzles that, like, I mean, it's happened before. A lot of actors have like passed away in the middle of shooting a movie, and a lot of, I feel like, how many times has it happened in history that like as soon as like when something like that happens, they just completely cancel the movie? I'm just trying to like remember when / if it happened. Like, was there ever a time when like they decided we can't finish the movie because this person like died?
It's probably happened before. I don't know when, but it probably does happen. In movies, in big Hollywood productions.
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's Hollywood, so they want to wrap. They want to like actually get the movie made. Which is kind of fucked up. It's kind of like with Nickelodeon making the new SpongeBob movie, even though Steven Hillenburg is dead.
Camp Carl, yeah.
Yeah, man, that SpongeBob movie feels so soulless.
Weird.
Yo, not to make fun of the seriousness of that, but I still love that whole thing that came out about how if you Google Camp Coral, the Google image that comes up for it is that meme.
It brings up that Mr. Krabs meme, Smitty Werben Jenkson.
Am I really going to defile this grave just for money? Of course I am.
God.
Get wrecked,
I mean,
Viacom.
it's also like, I know SpongeBob lore isn't something you should go super in depth with, but like, didn't SpongeBob first meet Sandy as an adult?
Yeah.
In the first episode, so how is he meeting her as a kid in that movie and stuff?
Then they also had the episode where if Mr. Krabs and Plankton, how like they grew up and all that.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also even an episode where they finally showed off how SpongeBob met Gary in the show itself?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was, there was multiple episodes with SpongeBob and Gary going back and all that. And it's weird too because the new movie is about like Gary getting lost, but they already did
they've done that. They've done that before.
They even hyped that up back in the day.
You're telling me, so are they just completely disregarding the fact that he was on that one time and they're just redoing it, or are they saying that SpongeBob is a horrible owner and gets him lost again? Like, which one is it? Did they?
I don't know. All I know is I don't know if I really want to see that movie. Honestly.
It sucks because, not gonna lie, it looks like a good movie just by the poster, like the material, but like it doesn't look like a bad movie is what I'm saying. But like it sucks that they're just milking the franchise after the creator died at this point.
Yeah, and I mean also
movie wise.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the same movie with Keanu Reeves, right? Is that the same movie?
Oh, it is. That's the same
no,
movie.
That was the last one.
Like, to be clear, Camp Carl is not the movie, but it's related to that in terms of like, being tied into it.
Right.
Yeah, because just look at it. Like, I think a few months after Steven Hillenburg passed away, they immediately started announcing things that Hillenburg was not about. Like, he said no spin-off, nothing like that. And then a few months after his death, they're like, all right, we're announcing a SpongeBob spin-off where he's in camp and all that. And it's like, wow, okay.
Wait, they announced it a few months after his death?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like 3 or 4 months after, and everybody was like, what? It's like, this is literally what Hillenburg did.
On record. He said it multiple times. He never wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, he didn't want to DH SpongeBob or do any like crossovers or anything like that. And, even though Nickelodeon kept pushing him for it. And the other thing too is that apparently, some people are claiming that Hillenburg knew that they were going to do Camp Coral, but there's others coming out saying like, we're disappointed in Nickelodeon for making this decision. They know damn well that Hillenburg would have hated this happening, and they went in and did it anyway.
Sad thing is too, like, it's gonna do well because it's SpongeBob and that's their cash cow. like kids won't know any better, so they're gonna like watch it. And it's gonna be a
audience are not
success.
gonna pay attention to that either. Yeah.
It's kind of just
There's
like
also adults too that wouldn't like. I mean, people in general wouldn't care.
I mean, yeah, like the regular average like TV
Viewer.
moviegoer and all that, they don't know about stuff like that, so they won't care. Yeah.
But
there's
the
gonna be
whole
like,
the
another
final
Star
Star
movie.
Wars
Do you want to go see it? You know,
like how nobody talked about like the whole controversial stuff behind that when it was coming out, like just like, oh, it's the end of the Skywalker saga.
I've never heard somebody care that much about it.
Man, remember when
Bruh.
everyone was like, "Wow, this sequel trilogy sucked" after that movie came out?
yeah,
I
everyone,
remember
even
that, yeah.
John
I
Boyega.
haven't even.
The
Yo, I
project-
haven't
John
even seen
Boyega
it,
was
dude.
like, "Lol, at least I got paid, I guess."
Yeah, he was just destroying it. He was just like, all right, guys, seriously. Also, I do want to say no. The thing that Rey wanted to tell Finn was not that she loved him. Seriously.
Other way around.
Oh, right. It's not that I love you. That I love you. It wasn't that. It was that he could feel the Force. I think that was what they said that he wanted to say.
Bro, not gonna lie,
Fuck,
you did
man.
not feel like that. It's like, hey,
Yo, I haven't
love
even
interest
seen that
kept
movie, and I don't want
around
to.
a million times.
Yeah.
It's like at first it felt like his love interest was Rey, then it was like Rose, then it was that black chick that appears in like the last third of the last movie.
Who apparently like it wasn't clear
Is
that
Lando's daughter.
I'm sorry, it's just so funny that like that last scene where Lando's like, well, why don't we figure that out? And everybody's like,
And everyone thought, is he about to bang her? And then because we didn't know, like, is that like just a random girl or is that his daughter? Is he about to bang his daughter? Like, what's going on?
The way they presented that scene visually, and then us in the
It was
theater
sexually
watching it,
suggestive.
It's pretty awkward.
I mean, there's so many things wrong with that movie.
I still love that I made a joke like, "Oh, watch fucking Lando suddenly appear out of nowhere."
Yeah.
And then it happens, and then Ray and Lawrence look at me, and I just look down.
Oh my god.
Yo, Eric, I still say to remember when I forgot his name, that guy at the end of the movie when the base exploded when they defeated everyone, and then the guy got propelled forward while he was having that that edgy brooding moment. It was like, well, we're defeated. I guess this is it. I'm going to accept my death as is.
Yeah, and there was no sound.
Propelled forward, like, oh.
God. I still love, by the way, that the Emperor is just back. No build-up at all. He's just there.
Dude.
And he somehow has an armada of ships, all with planet-destroying lasers.
The only way to figure out how Palpatine came back is by looking it up on the internet. This is real, like you literally.
And that's bullshit. That shouldn't even be acceptable.
And the thing, it shouldn't, because like
that is literally vital information.
The thing, and you know what the thing is? All the promotional material like talks about it. Like from the beginning, all the promotional material was like, "Guess who's back?" And we're just like, "Oh, you're kidding me! Where the hell did this come from?"
Was that movie made by the directors of Game of Thrones or not?
No,
remember, Eric, you said like they were directors from that movie.
I can explain. So when the sequel trilogy, J.J. Abrams came back to do the last movie for the sequel trilogy. The movie that I was talking about that the Game of Thrones directors were attached to were one of the like 85 spin-offs that Disney kept announcing for Star Wars. So yeah, it was supposed to be like a spin-off trilogy. But they're not on the project anymore, and a lot of people theorize it's because of the huge amount of backlash that Game of Thrones got, so they didn't want the bad press.
I thought it was because of the backlash that came from the last movie, because they left right after that last movie came out.
No matter what,
well,
bro.
I mean, to be fair to the Game of Thrones writers, as much as they're awful writers, they didn't have anything to do with that last trilogy movie.
Oh no, I thought they were the ones that voluntarily remove themselves from the project. That's what I thought.
No,
I'm pretty sure they said that because they are doing something with Netflix, but it's very coincidental, I guess I'll say, that they happen to say that like during, that big Game of Thrones backlash that happened.
They get blackballed from Hollywood.
Jesus.
No, and that's why I was curious, because I remember when I heard the news that, oh yeah, shit, and the people from Game of Thrones are no longer attached to the next sequel trilogy of movies. I wonder why. And the thing is, this came right after episode 9 it came out, so I was like, does this have something to do?
Yeah,
with
I'm confused because
episode 9?
when were those writers offered
And
the opportunity to do the movies? Because 9 came out after Game of Thrones ended.
Well, no, like I think they were offered that like before the last season even started airing.
Yeah, yeah, it was a long time ago that they were
Wait,
offered.
so Game of Thrones, I know. So Game of Thrones ended definitely after episode 9 came out. So at what point did Disney just say you guys aren't doing this?
Game of Thrones ended way before episode 9 came out.
Really?
I can look it up.
It's like a year.
Are you sure? A
Let me
year?
check. Let me check.
All right. Well, if it ended way before, then that makes sense. Because I was wondering at what point did Disney say like, "Nah, you're not doing this."
Okay, so it came out December 16th, 2019, and then Game of Thrones.
March, right? April. I think it was April.
No, Game of Thrones ended before Rise of Skywalker came out. Yeah.
So April,
May
right?
2019.
May? All right. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, at that point, the movie was done already and just waiting for release.
Yeah, I mean they weren't attached to that.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker. They were
No,
attached.
I know that. I was just like wondering at what point did Disney say like nah to those two directors? But I mean, in the end, like both ended horribly.
They were attached to the Jar Jar Binks spinoff movie.
God. I don't, like, they might as well have said that at the end, that the actual hero of the fucking series was Jar Jar Binks. Like, that's how ridiculous that
Of the whole franchise.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but they shat on the entire, the first two trilogies of the series. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, I'm not the prequel trilogies aren't obviously the best of the best, right? Everyone loves the original trilogy. The prequel trilogies are good. Like, some of them, they stand up. They're okay. But this last trilogy, like, it had potential, I would say.
I mean, yeah, it started off fine.
And then it just, like I remember when we went to go watch episode 7, I was super emotional in that movie theater because I was like, oh man, it's finally
a lot of us were because we were still on that high of Star Wars coming back after so long.
And every year there was a Star Wars movie, and then every other year there was a Star Wars movie like that was contingent for the entire series, and it was just not good at all.
The Han Solo movie really deflated a lot of the hype, especially.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That along with the Last Jedi controversy, I'd say.
Yeah, Rogue One I heard was good, and then there was the whole like, oh yeah, Last Jedi needs to be rewritten.
Episode 8.5, remember that?
Yeah, rewrite episode 8.
Release the Snyder Cut.
They really put Palpatine in the last movie just a way to kill him.
Well, apparently, so here's the thing. Originally, the guy behind Jurassic World was going to do the last Star Wars movie for the sequel trilogy. And apparently his script leaked, and it was completely different from what we got. Like, Palpatine wasn't in it at all.
Good.
I think, and a lot of, like, crazy shit happens. And I'm not going to lie, reading the script, or at least the parts I was able to find, it didn't seem too bad. Right? Yeah, it didn't seem too bad.
Because, like, let's just be honest.
I mean, at least it did something different.
Where in between 8 and 9 can we make that logical jump that, oh yeah, I know who the villain of the next movie is? Palpatine! What? It's like,
I mean, that's the point I'm making, that Palpatine, they really just threw him in there. Like,
they threw him in there, yeah.
It sounds like something straight out of fan fiction.
It basically was.
Because
dude,
even down to like the dialogue and what happens, like, oh, of course, fucking Rey and Kylo Ren kiss.
Yeah,
and then at the very end, it's like,
dude, the people on the Star Wars wiki must have been so pissed when they announced Palpatine was coming back, because that means they had to go back into his article and just start changing a bunch of shit. Like, okay, you didn't actually die here, but like, he survived by doing this shit. Now he's appearing in this new movie.
Ray, for a second, I thought you said Star Wars Reddit and not Star Wars Wiki.
Well, there is a Star Wars Reddit, and they were mad.
Ren is always mad.
I'm
Fucking
thinking
nerd.
right now of I can't that whole like Ray Skywalker joke. It's like, oh, what's your name? Ray Skywalker. I'm like, no.
There were
take
so
that
many
name
memes that
back.
came after that. There were so many memes that came after that. That's the only reason I somewhat excuse that line, because it gave way to a lot of funny memes. I remember one of my favorites was Ray Abrams.
No, it's so funny because it's like
There's another one I
what makes
love.
you
It's like,
think
what's your
you can take
name?
that name?
Ray what?
Like,
Raymundo. And it's Raymundo from Rocket Power?
my big issue is what makes you think you can take that name? I know you were the hero of this last trilogy.
No, that's
you
funny. You
don't deserve this name.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because one of my other favorite meme variations of that was like she turns and sees the silhouettes of like Luke and Leia, and then she turns back to the woman and she goes, Luke Skywalker, and then Luke's like, Ray, no.
It's it's ridiculous because it's like, sure, I get what you were trying to do there, but realistically, you just took the Skywalker name and just kind of like dropped it down like 40 levels. And not saying that Ray isn't Ray is a bad person or a bad character.
She is.
Yeah. But I mean like the fact of the matter is that they make her out to be this like ultimate like being who can somehow summon lightsabers from thin air and channel
because feminism.
All of the past Jedi's like powers and just destroy evil. And like, okay, sure, why not? Whatever. At this point, I don't really give a shit because we somehow brought Palpatine back. So whatever the fuck you want at this point. And it's like, then they're like, yeah, actually, you know what? Now we're going to say Rey is comparative to the level of Luke and Anakin. No. No, you can't do that. Because,
all right, well,
yeah.
So for me, I clocked out at that point. But the thing that I always thought was dumb was the thing with Rey. Initially, obviously, like after the first movie came out, everyone was like, "Oh man, is she Luke's daughter?"
Yeah,
it could be.
That's what
right?
I thought too, to be honest. From the
and
first
then
movie.
like
I thought.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can finish. I was just saying, like, I thought the same thing too. She was Luke's daughter. That like it was clear Ben was Han's son, and that she was gonna fall in love with this dude,
Finn.
Finn, yeah.
Yeah,
well, so yeah, that's what everyone thought. But like, then Last Jedi made it a point to just like toss out all those fan theories, and it made a point. It flat out said your parents were like nobodies. Like you're a nobody. You're not really related to anyone powerful at all. That was what was said in Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And then Rise of Skywalker, she's a Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the last movie then? Like this is why I brought up the fact that it was such a bad decision to make all these three movies have different like writers and directors. It was such a bad decision. I know the original trilogy had different directors and all that, but like George Lucas still had a general outline of everything that would happen in this series. That's why it flowed well.
It's like
and hell, as much as bad as the prequels can be, that also had a flowing narrative and all that. You can definitely argue that episode 1 and 2 are practically pointless and you only really need episode 3. And I would honestly agree with you because not much really happens in the first two. But like it made sense at the very least. It was badly written, but it made sense. It flowed okay because it went from point A to B to C. But then with like the sequel trilogy, it's like each new movie made the previous movie obsolete. Like the first movie, everyone had all these theories, and then the Last Jedi just tossed out all those theories, which was fine. But then Rise of Skywalker just tossed out everything from Last Jedi, and it doesn't match at all.
Dude, all three movies just felt like they belonged to different sequel trilogies from alternate universes.
Yeah, basically.
Got 3 in the mix.
Like, it's sad, too, because, honestly, like, if there's one thing, like, John Boyega's really cool. I especially love that he was just shitting all over Rey and Kylo Ren shippers. That was hilarious.
That was great.
But, like, I felt so bad for the guy who played Kylo Ren, Adam Driver, because he is easily the best part of the.
Oh, he's a
trilogy.
great dude.
Like he's a really good actor. His character is probably the best in the trilogy, even as much as they like do some weird shit with him. Like I felt legitimately bad for him. It's the same thing with how I felt bad for.
I liked Kylo as a character.
It's the same way with how I felt bad for the guy who played Anakin in episode 2 and 3, because the guy's like not a bad actor at all. He was just given really bad direction and all that.
I have the high ground.
It's over, Anakin.
I hate you.
They're like animals, so I slaughtered them like animals.
Bro, this is completely unrelated, but have you guys seen that video of Obi-Wan confronting General Grievous, and then he has a shit ton of lightsabers, and then when he spins them around, he destroys himself?
Oh yeah.
I saw one where you remember the scene in Rise of Skywalker where Kylo Ren throws the lightsaber into the ocean.
Yeah.
I saw one meme where he throws it, and then you hear General Grievous running, and then he jumps in to try and get it.
Lightsabers will make a fine addition
from my collection.
I love that quote.
You know, Grievous was one of my favorite like characters from the original. From the prequel trilogy. I don't know what about him really was cool. I liked his design. I love the fact that he could control 4 lightsabers and that he was pretty much like he was a worthy adversary to someone like Obi-Wan.
Well, he was kind of a bitch in the prequels. Like by the prequels, I mean Revenge of the Sith, because that's the only movie.
Yeah.
Like,
he just followed around Count
so easily in that movie, but like in the Clone Wars shows,
he's badass.
He's badass. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can go toe to toe with Mace Windu.
Yeah, mostly based on what I learned from Clone Wars and from what we saw in Revenge of the Sith. Which, like I said, I really like. That's why I really like General Grievous. I feel like he was just such a cool character. I mean, even the fact that like he was considered a Jedi hunter, is that what they call him? What do they count? Is he a bounty hunter or?
Oh, Grievous?
Yeah.
He works for Palpatine, bro.
No, like he was some sort of like, I forgot what he was called. He was something.
He got a nickname for collecting all the lightsabers. Like he was a hunter or a collector, something like that.
Yeah, that's why he says it's like this will make a fine addition to my
collection.
That line is so iconic now.
something. I mean,
Clone Wars in general is super iconic now.
Yeah.
Like that series, both those series really redeems the prequels.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny.
Even like
on Disney Plus right now is doing way better than the actual movies.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I mean, like I watched Revenge of the Sith again recently, and I still found myself like yelling at the TV because like there was a lot of times when especially after watching episode 9 and hearing this bullshit about force healing and all of this like crap about like you could have saved her, Anakin, or something like that, and I'm just like,
don't do it, Anakin.
I mean, realistically, there are so many moments in this movie where I'm like, yeah, you could have said no, or ended this man's life. You know, like
are you talking about when he like betrays Mace Windu and joins Palpatine?
He could have. He really. I know.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like as much as like the Clone Wars shows really helps redeem the prequels a bit. Yeah. At the same time, it ends up also making them kind of worse at the same time, if that makes sense. Because when you watch the Clone Wars shows and you're like, wow, this is so awesome. Like Anakin's such an amazing character. Obi-Wan is incredible. And then you see the prequels and you're just like, damn, I wish the prequels were as good as the TV shows.
The movies.
And it's because it is like that. Right. Like, you feel that like there's real meat behind the character, right? Like they like you see them fight with their thoughts a little bit. But in this one, you don't like it's really not really captured. Like, he could have said no. He could have easily said, yeah, I'm just gonna cut your head off.
Well, here's the thing. Well, the thing is, like, the general idea of the prequels is honestly really sound. Like, it makes perfect sense. Because, like, the thing with Anakin there is that he broke into pressure. That's why he betrayed. He was so preoccupied. Like, I need to save my wife.
Yeah. I was.
We're all cute.
But
it all comes full circle. It's all about my wife.
like he was just thinking about her, and Palpatine's the only one that's telling him like, I know a way to save her. So he just broke under pressure.
Yeah,
like he's good at heart, but like he cracked basically, and it makes perfect sense.
It does, because that's his character.
Well, no, in terms of like the general idea of the prequel story, it makes sense. It's just that in that movie, it's kind of like, you know, really quick, like out of nowhere, he just betrays them.
Yeah, that was my thing. The pacing with that's my big issue. It's like, yeah, sure, if you gave me a good reason why he said no, but it just seems like he just cracked out like really quickly out of nowhere. Said like, no, I'm just gonna kill you, Mace Windu.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I mentioned the whole Clone Wars thing, because it's like, in a way, it really helps the prequels, because you see all that character development with Anakin. You see those signs of like his dark side, like when he gets really violent and all that. And then so it makes his turn make more sense, but at the same time, you're like, damn, I wish this was the kind of shit that was in the prequels. And all that. But you know, I mean, I still fucking love Clone Wars. One of my favorite scenes is still the Maul versus that Mandalore. I forgot the Mandalorian's name. It's like one of the later seasons when he fights
Boba
Django, like Django Unchained.
No, Jango Fett, the father.
That's not a Mandalorian.
No, what?
No, Jango.
That's not. He's talking about something. He's talking about a Mandalorian.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Mandalorian?
No, it's Pre-Vizsla. That's his name.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I still remember that fight, and I love the fucking iconic ass line near the end where that one chick who was still allied with Pre-Vizsla, she's like, no, you're a traitor. And then Maul's like, history will not see it that way.
Oh my god, yeah.
Is that in the Clone Wars?
That's in the Clone Wars, yeah. It's this fight especially that I'm referencing. This fight is awesome, especially because he literally beheads the guy, and it's on Cartoon Network. Like, you see the logo.
Oh, I even remember when
was this the 2D one or like the 3D?
No, the 3D one. Yeah, this is the 3D one.
I even remember when I watched Revenge of the Sith again, like when Anakin beheads Count Dooku. Like, you see the head roll off, and I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was a little kid, and I'm watching Star Wars, and this is the first. Like, I think this was my first PG-13 movie, so I was like, "Oh my god!"
That was also like,
he just cut his head off.
Dude, you say that. A lot of us were shocked when fucking Yugi got stabbed by Pen.
We always bring up that one moment in Pyramid of Light. It's like,
I remember.
Yugi just got stabbed.
Attack!
Also, okay, so the line was, unfortunately for you, history will not see it that way.
Yeah.
I love that line.
It's a badass line.
It also really sucks because, like, I keep hearing, like, the next round of the next trilogy that they plan to do is based on, like, the Old Republic.
God.
And that's my problem, is that I can't, after what happened with the
sequel trilogy and the anthology movies.
I'm really not feeling at all like that's going to be a good idea, and I might I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. Like, realistically,
it feels like with every success, Disney just keeps like asexually reproducing more and more projects.
Reproducing.
I mean, it feels like that at this point, especially like with the live action shit that the live action remakes that they keep doing. It's like, oh, well, it worked the first time, maybe it'll work 10 million more times.
All right, to be fair with that, Ray, those are like franchises that are like, no one cares about the continuity. They can reproduce them. I don't give a fuck. Like, people will still watch them. But Star Wars, I get. Like, I get what you're saying with Star Wars and with Marvel, how they're going to keep asexually reproducing all these movies and series. But I like with things with Cinderella and like, what's it called, Beauty and the Beast. Like, they're like 20 years down the line, they're going to remake those movies.
They're going to remake them again. You know they are.
I get it.
Yeah.
But the problem, and I guess this is something that he's trying to say, is that it's like it.
No, I get his point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to keep doing that with Star Wars and Marvel right now for the foreseeable future.
It feels disingenuous. That's probably my biggest thing. And that's something, like, I even remember when, like, I watched the Beauty and the Beast live action. And I don't know why, even though I kept telling myself, don't have your expectations too high. Don't have your expectations too high. My expectations were pretty high still. And I can tell you, after watching it, I was disappointed. And, like, it was good. It was all right. But, like, I prefer the animated version for that movie.
It wasn't all that, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the animated version literally right after, and I found myself laughing and smiling and everything. And then I watched the live action, and I'm just like, let me check who's playing tonight. Who sport teams are playing tonight? You know.
And like, you know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you know, I get it too, because Disney, they're buying these franchises, and you know, obviously, you don't want to just buy an entire, you know, legendary franchise and just do nothing with it and just let it sit there as you collect money from all the.
Here's an idea: don't buy it. You don't need to own everything.
You took my only food.
Now I'm gonna starve.
I get that you got to do something with it, but for fuck's sake, pace yourself out.
Yeah, seriously, it's this is why I really, in retrospect, I wish they never bought Star Wars, because Star Wars used to be something special, and now it's just another film franchise. Like it's another typical one because it's coming out every fucking year.
I feel like
coming out it was an event.
All right, wait, Eric.
I feel like unlike
what
Marvel,
other franchises do you feel aside from Star Wars right now? They can be Disney owned, but like, what are the other ones that just feel like meh when they come out that are mass reproduced? Indiana Jones. Okay. I guess Jurassic Park counts, but I mean the movies that are coming out aren't so bad.
Well, the main ones I'm thinking of are Disney's two big ones right now, the MCU and Star Wars. They're so mass produced now that it's just dull. Like, it's not that exciting anymore when a new one comes out. And for Star Wars especially, that's depressing because Star Wars used to be a huge event. It's still fascinating to me looking back on all those videos of like pre-Phantom Menace and all the hype that was happening for that movie to air.
Up like for days to watch the movie.
Literally camped out.
Yeah, I remember.
Like Lauren said, for days before the movie aired.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and even Indiana Jones, the same thing. When they did the second and the third movies, and even Raiders, people were camping out for those movies to watch it. And then you got to the fourth movie, and then everyone was kind of depressed when they found out that the movie was really about aliens.
Who owns Indiana Jones?
Disney.
Is it Warner Brothers?
I think Disney owns them, yeah.
Yeah,
because they own Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they own Lucasfilms. So they
are Lucas. Yeah, because they own Lucas.
Have they done anything with Indiana Jones?
They're making a fifth one. 5, and I swear to God, look, I love Indiana Jones actually in a weird way more than I love Star Wars, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be an archaeologist. And I love the first 3 movies. The 4th movie, I don't really like talking about it. The 5th movie, I swear to God, if it's terrible, I'm just done.
Starring Shia LaBeouf.
You
hear that, Disney? Lawrence is done if it's terrible.
Because the only saving grace.
If they listen to this episode, and they're like, "Oh fuck, we better make it perfect."
The only saving grace about the Indiana Jones movies is Harrison Ford. And granted, yes, it's probably because of his success in Star Wars, but also he plays Indiana Jones really well. The only thing I can give to the last,
I feel like he does not want to play any of these characters
he
anymore.
Doesn't.
He's so old. He's like, oh, stop asking me.
He's not going to say no to the money. To be fair, he wants the money.
He has plenty of money. At this point.
He'll live out his lifetime 2 or 3 times at this point.
All right, but I mean, look, the guy wants to be in movies that he wants to do. He can do it. It's like it's related to what you're saying, but look at Robert Downey Jr. Whenever he did Iron Man, he never said no to that. Like all the Marvel,
he didn't say no because at the time he was in a huge rush.
He had the contract, but like if they wanted to keep doing the movies, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say no.
Well, I mean, his contract ended, and he's not itching to go back anytime soon. Yeah. But also, like he signed that contract to begin with because he was in a huge rut before Iron Man 1. If you remember,
he was like.
So many
true
problems and all that
and everything, but he somehow managed to turn his life around. So, I mean, that's one of the saving graces that I think came out of that film series. It just like it really propelled a lot of these actors who, granted, were not really like A-list actors. They put them on the
Robert Downey Jr. is A-list, I'd say, even before
you. I would. So I'm just saying that like if given the chance, he would do more Iron Man movies if he got another contract with Disney. Oh hell yeah! I think like he wouldn't say no, especially even if he did like he committed 10 years of his life to the character. I really think he would come back to do another role.
If they didn't. I don't know. He seems perfectly satisfied sticking things up a dragon's ass.
I mean,
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't Dr. Doolittle. It was called Doolittle.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't get the PhD.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison Ford. Maybe he's tired of the characters, but he wouldn't say no to the money.
So my
thing, the thing is that he has so much money already anyway. Like he doesn't need it.
Yeah,
he's so tired of it.
I don't know if this is in Harrison Ford's mind, but there's the other thing too of like maybe he doesn't want anyone else to, play Indiana Jones.
Asking him when is the next Indiana Jones movie? When is the next Star Wars movie? And
I feel like deep down he hates these like fandoms at this point. I feel like I sense that from him.
Yeah, he has that like old man vibe of just like.
It's like when you see that one interview where they asked him like that stupid question is like, so Han, Greedo, who shot first? And he's like,
yeah.
Right? Do you guys care about that?
He was like, I don't care, please.
Here's my thing. The only thing, the saving grace, I think, of the fourth movie, and even would be the saving grace of the fifth movie.
It's not Shia LaBeouf.
It's not Shia LaBeouf. I thought that was interesting in the fourth movie. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was interesting. But
it's annoying as hell.
But again, I don't.
Old man.
And the fact that they're trying. At the end of the fourth movie, the most annoying thing was when they tried to set him up as the next Indiana Jones. He picked up the hat. When he picks up the hat and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this on," and then Harrison Ford's like, "Not today, son," and he just takes it and puts it on. Like, I get it. Again, there are a lot of really good things about the fourth movie. I just didn't like everything was good, probably up to the point where the aliens showed up.
In all fairness, why is the aliens like the thing that like is where the line's drawn? Because I mean, the previous movies had stuff like ghosts and shit.
It was, but the thing is, I feel like that's more of a stretch. Like the thing is with like, for example, the Holy Grail. And,
I feel like the biggest stretch in that movie, for me at least, was the whole like surviving a nuke in a.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the refrigerator.
That was a cool thing.
That it just makes no sense.
That's about it. Like,
yeah, well, they did if you actually did that, your chances of survival are higher, but you're most likely still gonna die.
It's funny too, because Fallout New Vegas had an Easter egg for it, where like as you're walking through the wasteland, you might find a refrigerator with a skeleton and a fedora inside.
Yep.
So here's my thing. Here's the reason why I say the line is drawn with the alien. Yes, let's talk about the things from the first few movies that were absolutely out of this world. The Ark of the Covenant being some sort of brain-melting thing, and Nazis want it. Okay, granted, right? But I think, especially, I kind of think of it kind of a little bit of like kind of national, like National Treasure with the Nicolas Cage movies. Everything like with these booby traps and stuff like that, yeah, they're completely out of this world. Like, obviously, that's never going to happen. And even like in the third movie with the invisible floor, you had to spell Jehovah. Like, yeah, again, another thing completely out of this world. Or when in Temple of Doom, the guy pulls out the man's beating heart and the guy is still screaming. Yeah, there are a lot of things about Indiana Jones that aren't possible or at all realistic. But I thought they were more entertaining. I feel like with aliens, you're just kind of... I felt like you were kind of just copping out. Because there is actual lore behind the Crystal Skulls. I don't think it has anything to do with aliens. Last I remember, I watched a bunch of documentaries about it. It was a Mayan thing, and it was just like... they believed it had immense power. but it like if they had kept the aliens out of it, maybe it would have been a better movie. And I'm just being honest, because by that time it was just like, oh man, they just want to show off their CGI budget and
you know what it is? They just couldn't compare to American Dragon Jake Long. that Crystal Skull arc in that first season, or was the second, was way better than Crystal Skull Indiana Jones.
I love the idea that an entire season of a Disney cartoon is better than a fucking Indiana Jones movie.
I think it was only like half a season, actually, but yeah.
It's supposed to be like a very high profile kind of thing, because it's like, oh yeah, Indiana Jones is back. It's like, oh no, but this Jake Long cartoon did it way better.
Jake Long cartoon though, as Dante Boscow.
Let me preface this by saying that Indiana Jones went to Atlantis before in the video game, in the PC. There was a PC game or a Dreamcast game or something like that where he goes to Atlantis, and I really like. That is also, again, out there, but I feel like it is less out there because people actually have found evidence of Atlantis in this world. So I feel like it's less out there than aliens with crystal skulls. It felt, I don't know. It just felt like...
I don't know. Cool.
I felt like they were trying... they really were trying hard to keep pushing this series out after it had been 10 years, I think, since the last one. Again, saving grace, Harrison Ford. Everything up to the aliens was okay. And the fact that they brought back Marion Ravenwood out of all of the three flares or flings that he has, definitely my favorite was Marion. So I'm like really actually glad that they did that and that he ended up with her at the end. So I mean that's just my take on it.
What happened to the girl from the second movie?
Willie, I think was her name. Was it
the
Willie?
one that yelled a lot or screamed a lot? Rather,
it's literally her the entire movie. I don't know. She just disappears after that movie, and then
I always wondered what happened to her.
In the third movie, it was Elsa. I think her name was Elsa, like the Frozen character, and she was half Nazi. Something like that.
Wait, how do you be half Nazi? You're just
yeah.
What's the other half?
I say that because at the beginning she was a spy.
Oh, so she's a double agent.
Nazi isn't a race, though. How can you be half Nazi?
At the end, she leaves the Nazis, so she's like half.
So that means she's half Nazi. Okay.
That's just how I describe it. But yeah,
I left high school. I'm half high schooler, I guess.
Yo, but what's the other half?
Yeah,
just half not Nazi.
Half not Nazi.
I left Tiger Schulman's karate. I'm half karate.
But yeah, I think what I remember is that
you can't say half Nazi. That makes no sense. What?
She was a double agent. Yeah.
I left Naughty Dog Studios. I'm half Naughty Dog.
I'm half Naughty Dog. Half
Brown, the Asian kid. They just disappear. You never hear from them ever again. And that was probably another thing about Indiana Jones I wasn't a big fan of, is that they just kind of, there was always someone new, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because it's like, oh yeah, you might like that character from that first movie, but then after that in the next movie, you never see them again. That's why I was really happy that they brought back Marion in the fourth movie, because she was, like I said, my favorite out of the three. And
the one that just stuck.
The way I would rank them is it goes Marion, Willie, and then and Elsa. And then in the last movie, I will say Cate Blanchett actually was really cool. She was a really cool character. Irina Spalko, the Russian, she was actually pretty cool. And the fact that she dies again at the end with the crystal skull, and she her eyes get burned out, that's just, again, the whole aliens thing was not.
Well, I don't know about crystal skull lore. I didn't even know they were real. And I wasn't as invested in Indiana Jones as much as something like Star Wars. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't as invested. So for me, I didn't I didn't really care that much about the crystal skulls. I didn't question it too much. I was more questioning other things and complaining about Shia LaBeouf's character.
Mutt Williams. Well, what was the what were you questioning? I guess.
Well, like I said, the nuke with the refrigerator thing.
Yeah. Besides that,
Why Shia LaBeouf had to be in the movie?
okay.
You will not divide us.
That's why he couldn't be. He had to be in the movie.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Is there anything else you think that you were questioning, I guess, about that movie?
Why did they not show the guy from the third movie?
His father?
Yeah, like he drank from the everlasting life, didn't he?
Yeah,
How's he
but
dead?
I think
Also, the actor wasn't even dead. So
Sean
like, what?
Connery, yeah,
He wasn't dead. So it's like, what?
So I think what they said that ended up happening is that he didn't like the drink helped to heal him, but it didn't give him eternal life. That's what they
Was that a retcon then?
I think so. From what I understand,
Man, they
Like,
had to
I
explain
could've
it in
sworn
some
it
way.
was said to have everlasting life in Last Crusade.
yeah,
He must have missed the asterisk then.
Only everlasting life for like 2 seconds. You know, enough for you to survive whatever you're going through.
For 2 seconds. Like, oh yeah, you're immortal, Bully, for like the next minute or so.
Yeah, so that you can heal, basically. But yeah, like that was also a thing I always questioned, because the beginning of the movie very much indicates that his character, Henry Jones, is dead. And I'm like, but Sean Connery's still alive though. Like, what?
There was also, fun fact, there was also a series, Indiana Jones series, where he was
Like
a
a
kid.
TV series?
Yeah.
Where he was a
Starring
kid?
Harrison Ford? Oh, when
Yeah.
he was a kid, okay.
Yeah, when Harrison Ford was a kid.
Not the actor.
Yeah, I actually, from this is all I understood. They talk about it in the movie. I don't really remember what they said, but something about that the Grail didn't really like give him everlasting life like everyone thought that it did. It healed his wounds, but it didn't give him the everlasting life that they thought he would get.
Bro, why would you want everlasting life? That means you gotta see through all this shit. You gotta live through the pandemic we're going through right now.
Yeah.
They just kill me right now, actually.
Bro. No. Speaking of this is not
Or
related
maybe what it was. Oh wait, no. He from what I understood, so they use it to heal his gun wound, but I think he had to drink more from the Grail or something like that. He didn't drink the entire thing.
I thought he was somehow just gonna live forever after that scene.
Yeah, so yeah, that's from what I understood, but that's why when Indy was trying to grab the Grail, like he said that he told him to let it go. Cause he could have gotten
like the song.
Well, yeah, Elsa is there.
But yeah, so
it's my shitty joke for the.
They told him. So he told him to like let the Grail go and to not worry about it anymore.
And before someone in the comment is like, "Which one?" Eric is like, "All right, fucker."
And so that's why he just decided, nah, I don't need it anymore.
Man, you know how old that Indiana Jones TV show is that Ray mentioned? It was on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
It was on Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
That's like HD.
Yo, I've never seen somebody on the New York City subway selling a Laserdisc.
Can you imagine?
Laserdisc bootleg movie $2.
Bootleg Laserdiscs.
Oh my fucking god! I'm done, bro.
Movie,
a little fake plastic and paper little movie
with the flat movie cover.
Okay,
I
so
wonder if they're still used at all for anything.
Okay, so I
found selling bootleg DVDs outside of the subway station near me.
So I found another piece of evidence that shows what happened. So they say that the Grail Knight, the guy from like the 1500s, was like that that eternal earthly life is not possible past the seal that was on the ground in the cave.
The seal of Orichalcos?
Pretty much. And so he says that is the boundary and price for immortality. That's why that guy is still alive. He's from the 1500s and he's still there. But as soon as like the temple collapses, he's gone. Right?
Okay.
So yeah, so as soon as he as soon as Henry and Indy leave to go back wherever and to escape, he leaves the Grail and he leaves the seal, so the water the water never doesn't work anymore. So yeah, that's the story.
Laser discs.
Those are huge.
They were gigantic.
They're bigger than vinyl records, and that says something because vinyl records are big already.
They're like more than 3 times or 4 times the size of a DVD. That's how big they are.
Where the fuck do you store this shit?
Same place you would store the vinyl records. I'm sure if you go to any of these antique shops, you'll still find them.
Young Indiana Jones Chronicles Laserdisc. I want to see if I can buy it somewhere.
Good luck putting that into like a PlayStation 3.
4, yeah. Let's see if it works on the PlayStation 4.
Put it inside the PS4 and it explodes.
God. Yeah, I wouldn't hold it past them. But yeah, personally, I'll watch the 5th one. But if I'm disappointed by it, I don't want to watch another Indiana Jones film coming out of Disney ever again.
You hear that, Disney? Don't disappoint them.
Did you guys see how in the last Star Wars sequel trilogy movie, they didn't even credit Harrison Ford for his cameo?
Yeah, they didn't. No,
yeah, he went uncredited.
And I mean, he was there. He was in that
obviously
movie.
He was there. I didn't blink and miss it.
He was there.
Did he record any new material for that? Maybe that's why they didn't credit him.
I have to be sure.
I don't think all those lines were from the first movie.
Unless they just had him for the first movie. They just had him in front of a green screen for like over an hour saying a bunch of
maybe he zoomed in like his recording.
Yo, pretend Adam Driver's character was your son and just say a bunch of meaningful things to him. We'll figure out something to use for it later.
I wouldn't put it past them just because I think at the time they were scared that because everybody's so old that they were gonna die, which is what happened with Carrie. They were just like, you know what? We're just gonna have you say a bunch of things, and if we use it in the future, why not?
Probably also why they wanted to kill off Han Solo in the first movie,
which sucks. Because it's like, I mean,
son, come home now.
Yeah, and how they almost killed off Leia in the second one, but they decided, let's have her stick around for half of the last movie.
Laser discs.
You found it?
I'm trying to find it. I found like a Korean laser disc for the first movie, but I can't find like for the TV show.
Did you find this one didn't even want?
This one did have like a picture of the laser disc, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! It's been literally decades since I've seen this.
Oh, it would be funny
for a disc that big. For a disc that big, it better not only be in like hyper high definition, but it also better have like a shit ton of special features on one disc.
I don't think there was any.
I don't know, bro.
Just fit the entire Avatar saga into one.
Laserdisc came right before VHS, right?
Who?
Laserdisc came before VHS or after VHS and before?
It was like during VHS, bro.
Yeah, and VHS didn't come with any special features.
No, the special features nostalgia. There you go.
Yeah,
it would depend on the company / manufacturer, but like very rarely you would see like bonus features stuffed in either before the movie or at the very end after the credits.
It's even the case now. Like if you rent a movie from like Amazon or like from any of these streaming services where you can rent movies, there are versions that have the special features, but the special features are tacked on at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
you have to watch
behind the scenes.
Yeah, so the other day...
So you play a movie and then you're like, 6 hours, what?
Yeah.
And then you realize, like 5 hours of that is special features and stuff, behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
So like I bought Far From Home to stream with the bonus features on it.
My favorite Batman movie.
And I was watching it and I'm like, wow, it's like half an hour longer. And then they said, tune in to the end of this movie for the special features typically featured on the DVD. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't.
And then he clocked out after that. So, oh no.
It like I mean, I watched them. It's just behind the scenes. What else?
He watched some, quote unquote. He played something like in the background and he left it.
You just let the plane just so he can have the whole queue
I mean,
say like, "Oh yeah, you finished this."
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly.
It's a lot of things that you've.
I want to know if there's someone on Netflix who has actually seen everything that's on Netflix.
Oh Jesus, that might be impossible.
That's
There-
probably impossible.
Like,
I've seen pictures.
That's not even
of
going into
people
like the
memeing about
multi-regional
it.
exclusives.
Yeah.
I've seen people memeing about it. It's like you finished Netflix.
What?
Yeah, they made.
How do you speedrun Netflix?
The history of speedrunning Netflix.
Like people making fun of the quarantine. They're like, guys, I think I've been in so long that I finished Netflix. I ran.
Okay.
Can you tool assist speedrun Netflix?
I mean, I feel like that wouldn't be too hard though.
Like his icon goes green sometimes, but he's not. I don't hear him. Do you guys?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Isaac's profile too. I don't know if like maybe he has his mic on.
Hey, Isaac.
Yes.
Hey,
Okay.
there he is.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure you were there because we noticed your profile was blinking green a few times.
Isaac, can you hear us?
Yeah, I was wondering if like you were
I can
talking,
hear
but
you,
it just
yeah.
wasn't picking up.
I'm here.
Isaac, can
I'm
you hear
not just, I'm not just zoning out of Lawrence's half an hour rant on Indiana Jones. That shit went on for way too long, bro. I tried to time it with like a laser disc comment, and then he went right back to
The crystal skulls, you see?
No,
fucking
no,
wrap up the podcast.
I was making a whole reference to the Isaac. Isaac, can you hear us? Isaac, I say yes.
I can hear you, bro. I've been listening to you rant for half an hour.
Speaking of, what time are we at right now on the recording?
Let's check. Craig, 2.5 hours.
Why are you talking to Craig, bro? Weirdo.
Weirdo, yeah. It's
Imagine Craig comes with like 2.5 hours.
I would leave this call and.
Or maybe it's like a Cortana or like a Siri kind of thing.
Nah, I
Did
don't
you
want it.
guys know that VHS was actually still in production in Japan as recently as 2016?
Wow, really?
I can
Yeah.
believe it.
What?
I mean, they were still making PS2 games for so long, so
Oh yeah.
It was like a company called Funai or something that was
I thought you were gonna
still
say,
like
Funami
producing.
or something.
No, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Funai, but they were still producing VHSs up to like 2016, but they stopped at that point because the demand was just so low and all that.
Well, so you can own Iron Man on VHS.
I don't know if they were doing it for like
Ray.
movies, but
I
but I
doubt that,
guess.
Ray. Iron Man on VHS, bro. Can you imagine the trailers?
The Paramount movie trailer.
That shit looks mad old. That shit would make my grandma excited.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember that that commercial that would play right before the movie is like coming soon to DVD?
Oh, yeah, the
Let's
Disney
Coming soon to
go!
VHS.
Dun, dun.
No, and then it was
I remember coming soon to VHS still.
Oh.
Coming soon on video and DVD.
Coming soon to Disney VHS and DVD.
Yeah, let's
I remember
go! And then it was the Peter Pan thing.
Peter Pan and the Pirates.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
Oh,
I don't know. You said "Let's go," and I just think of Maximilian Dude's intro.
Oh my god.
nice. You know, honestly, like as much as the quality of VHS doesn't compare to like DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, I still miss it.
Yeah, same.
As somebody who has a bunch of VHSs in his room, I definitely miss having them.
I used to own a lot of the Disney Renaissance era on VHS.
Yeah, because they came in those like special white boxes.
Those white boxes, yeah, and also the orange Nickelodeon tapes.
I remember the white boxes.
All right, here it is. You guys should take a listen to this.
Just keep scrolling, because this does not apply to you.
Okay, here it
Alright,
is.
so
Ready?
I'm about to take you back to your childhood with one simple sound, one simple audio, and it's okay if you cry, because it brings back memories for all of us. Alright, here.
We have our heading.
Here we go!
From the magic within our hearts to the adventure beyond the horizon.
Do you guys remember that though? It was, I think, on a lot of the Disney stuff.
I vaguely remember it.
I remember "Cause I'm Your Lady" in like the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
I have like
Now that's what I call music.
memories
69.
of that playing like randomly
in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night when no one was watching and they had no other commercials to play.
Cause I'm your lady.
Love that commercial so
Celine
much.
Dion DLC in Kingdom Hearts.
I love that commercial
love it.
so much.
I love the meme video that someone made recently of this kid in like whatever movie it was. Like he just wakes up in the middle of the night with his TV on and he sees the.
Oh, I think it's from
That's from
Monsters Inc. Yeah,
Monsters Inc.
because that's literally the joke that everyone makes. Is like you haven't lived until you've woken up at like 3 a.m. because of that commercial.
That or like the George Lopez intro.
Oh yeah, that's another
my
one.
Ways. It's so low.
You guys remember? I
Oh,
forgot what channel it was, but I have a memory of
Little high.
my brother found the porn channel on an old cable box set top. My older brother,
Yo,
and he used to switch in between. He'd be like, "Yo, you want to see something?" And I was like, "See what?" And he pressed certain channel buttons, and he got to the porno channel.
Oh no.
I actually, I vaguely, I don't know how I still remember this, but I had a similar experience where I had like this cable box that went up to channel 99, and I was flipping through it, and I found like a porn channel. I don't know if it was like a local channel or whatever, but I was like, "What is this?" And then I called like my parents over. And I'm like, "Mom, Dad, what is this channel? I've never seen it before." And then they immediately turned it off, and it's like, "Eric, don't ever go to that channel again." I still remember this. I don't know.
I remember, yeah, my abuela had her own TV in the room, and I was there with my cousin, and we were both watching I think we were watching Ed, Edd n Eddy late night, and
Back when it was 24 hours.
Yeah.
back when it was 24 hours.
Yeah, they had a lot of
And,
those 24-hour marathons.
My cousin switched the channel over to the porn channel, and we got caught right in the middle of a Girls Gone Wild ad, and my abuela walks in and she's like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And she beat her ass in the belt.
Jesus Christ.
You should have shut your eyes and pretended you were sleeping. Did you guys ever do that? When you stayed up late, but then if you're hearing your parents coming in, you close your Game Boy or whatever, and then
you put it in your pillow.
Yeah. But somehow they would always know your ass was still awake.
I remember seeing one Vine where someone recreated it, where they're on their phone, they hear the door open, so they toss the phone and then close their eyes and pretend they're sleeping.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember growing up, when I used to go to sleep, I used to always hear footsteps and I'd be like, and then I don't know what about me just tipped them off this motherfucker's still awake.
They can know.
There's a disturbance in the force.
They can know. I think what my mom does sometimes is she checks under the pillow.
Oh.
So it's fuck. I'm busted.
I think one of the things that they would do is they would check on the other side of me to see if my face was if my eyes were open or if not. And that moment when you feel somebody staring at you, you just can't help but start smiling or laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've had moments like that where it's I'm mad at my parents or something, but then they make me laugh, and I'm trying hard not to laugh, but my angry face turns into a smile because I start laughing.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't happen.
Cause I'm your
lady. I think I was literally about to do the same thing.
In a once-in-a-lifetime collection.
Yo, we should buy that CD.
I tried. Believe me, I tried. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I looked it up once on Amazon, and the comments were the actual lyrics of all the songs.
It's people leaving meme reviews "Tell me how am I?"
And then you get the cease and desist order on them.
Oh my god. Dude, honestly, it's so funny because commercials like those, now that's what I call music, whatever, when those used to air a lot on Nickelodeon, that's how I was inadvertently introduced to bands like the Gorillaz, because he used to play the music video as like one of the examples of songs on that.
Feel good.
Yeah, that was the song that they had on there.
I can't even find the CD set.
I remember when Feel Good was like one of the hottest videos on YouTube, and everybody was just playing that video and making their own mashups over it on YouTube.
I remember when
this was pre-Vivo, man.
Pre-Vivo.
I remember when. By the way, I hate that those Vivo channels count as like YouTube channels.
Yeah,
it's like of course they're gonna end up being like the most viewed videos and stuff like that. But I forgot what I was gonna mention. I think I was gonna say something about like how it's kind of funny to me that like we're nostalgic over commercials.
Yeah.
At this point,
because he used to play all the time, and like
I know. Like another one I still remember is the Zoo Books one.
Oh yeah, the Zoo Books with the tiger poster.
Tiger
poster. And I loved all those commercials. I don't know if they still have them anymore. You remember those commercials where they advertised this really weird product all the time, like to make cooking easier, or like Chia Pets, or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like the
they
Billy
still have those.
I remember somebody made a joke about this airline being like,
cheese will stick.
If you go to any of these, like, I would say the channels that are like national channels, like you just I don't know, Channel 7, ABC's, all of that. In the middle of the night, they still will play those, and in between programming, they still will. Are you tired of?
Like those commercials. Like, are you tired of this? And all
they still have them, and you still have to order them by calling the number on the screen.
Yo, those numbers are still working.
Yeah, they
oh my god! There's like one intern that like just picks up the phone every once in a blue moon.
But call within the next 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and we'll double your order.
There is actually
like in tune with the airing.
Yeah, like that's what I never understood. That I was like, how do they know?
There are actually channels
at any time, and you'll still get the bonuses.
There are channels that like actually exist just for that purpose.
Like, wait, you mean like YouTube channels that collect all those commercials?
No, TV channels,
like the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, like they will advertise a product that usually you see in a commercial, and then they're like, call in the next 10 minutes and we'll double the offer. You have 10 minutes, our operators are standing by, and then they're just showing the product.
There's multiple Home Shopping Network channels, like, same company and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we're talking about those commercials that would play on like Cartoon Network and stuff.
Yeah, no, but I just wanted to mention those guys are up late all the time. Like they're always doing it live.
I'm sure they have a night shift and everything. Yeah, but yeah, no, they have those they have a lot of these like channels that still exist. The commercials still play depending on what channel you're on. Obviously,
dude, I almost want to tune into one of those channels just to see if I can recognize some of the commercials.
I remember after Billy Mays passed away, they still played his commercials for a number of years.
Yeah, I remember. I still remember those Billy Mays commercials.
Yeah, and they gave it to Anthony Sullivan, who was his friend. Thankfully, a good replacement, but not the replacement. He was like.
Okay, guy.
I mean, he was iconic. It's the same way how you can't replace someone like
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good example, actually.
With Mighty Putty.
Damn, that's not how his accent sounds at all. You sound more like Vince from Slap Top.
Oh my god.
Dude, I still love that video where they put the scout from TF2's voice on the Slap Top commercial.
I love the parody one where he's like, "Yeah, ShamWow, it can wipe up that hooker's blood."
Oh my god!
Remember the iCrow
after the scandal with the hooker?
Yeah. I even remember. I think that might have been like one of the. I mean, they still have them, and in fact, I think one of the things that like led them to stop doing it less was the fact that they were just pushing out these products to the stores right away instead, and they just called them as seen on TV product, even though I never saw it on TV.
There's a store that's called.
I mean, it's probably because we don't watch TV anymore.
Well, even when I do tune in,
TV is quote unquote washed because like people don't really tune in. The masses don't tune in as much as they used to, but there's still a lot of money to be made off of TV.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Like,
still a lot of
networks still
money to
air
be made.
because the cable companies aren't just going to stop airing TV shows.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like eventually, I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime, but we will eventually end up like moving past TV shows
As a
and
format,
channels and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
while the
moving straight
boomers are
to
still
streaming.
alive, TV will still be a thing, obviously.
Yeah.
Move
Boomers
straight
won't
to streaming.
they won't fucking like
won't
damage their
die.
TV. There's still old ass people like with their TVs like, no, don't fucking touch my TV.
Yeah, and by the time that we grow up, like we're gonna have like streaming services will be
The norm,
the
probably.
norm. Yeah.
The thing
You
is,
guys
though, like
remember how you used
we
to have
really
to-
need like an all-encompassing streaming service.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to order like 12.
Yeah. No,
We
I'm
need-
That's the
facing that
problem.
issue now because I'm just like shit.
We need the
whole
ultimate proof.
Like the whole HBO Max thing, just like that really knocked me down a bunch of sizes.
I signed out at fucking Disney Plus. That's where I realized like, yeah, this is
This
too
is
much.
getting out of hand, right? Yeah, and there's
Too
still more to
much.
come. Like NBC is making one and all that.
I'm
Fucking
out.
NBC.
Why does NBC need a streaming service? I don't want to watch fucking SNL.
Friends again.
No, thank you.
I didn't even
CBS
do
All Access.
CBS. I didn't even do CBS All Access, even though I really want to watch that Twilight Zone like series.
I mean, I'm sure that show's pretty good, but like, I
I'm
don't want
not
to order
gonna-
it just for
yeah,
one show.
I'm not gonna do that.
Like at least with Netflix, there's like a bunch of like
and even
exclusives on there.
with, like HBO Max, like I guess I can.
I mean, with HBO, I guess it's a little better because it's a premium channel, so it has
Yeah.
premium shows. Like it shows that you already would have had to pay for. So I guess it's, you know,
right. It is worth it. And for the first year, it's $11.99, so it's like not that bad at all. I mean, they're
It's
they're
$11.99 a month for like for the whole
A year or
month.
$11.99 a year is not
Okay,
bad.
I was about
at
to
all,
say
bro.
like
That's great.
if it's only $11.99 for a year, I'm about to sign up right now
It's 14
and not
too,
watch
bro.
Game of Thrones.
It's $14.99. Well, to be honest, you guys have my login, so
Yeah, I have your social security.
but it's like
I have your liver.
you know the one thing that I would really like, I really wanted from it. I definitely wanted Fresh Prince because I'm nostalgic about Fresh Prince.
I love Fresh Prince.
And we also don't have to go to the Dominican Republic to watch it.
Yeah, and the fact
I
that
still love that you caught like a few episodes while we were in
I know,
DR.
right? That and the fact that like
Ray, that sounds like some. That sounds like some illegal shit. Like you just pissed off the cable industry saying that. What?
the
How
other
dare you
to be
go to
fair,
DR to
like,
watch Fresh
can't
Prince?
watch something like
If you have
Friends.
something like ExpressVPN or something like that, you can
Yeah.
already do that.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm
People,
I
people
personally
in
have
DR are so
Friends,
lucky, man.
So I can watch a couple episodes as Friends as background fodder. I've already watched all of Friends. I mean I've already watched most of The Office at this point.
I'm gonna keep it real, man. Friends is garbage.
It's your typical. I mean that's why Fresh Prince was like a reality check, because
I
it
was waiting for Lawrence to stay completely silent for like 5 seconds.
no I
Like what happened before.
it sucks that like Netflix paid out a whole $100 million just for an extra year of Friends. Like I thought that was kind of unrealistic when they
Okay.
I mean, I don't really hate Friends. It's not. It's,
Friends, all right.
Okay,
I'll take it back. Friends actually has some watchable parts. The ones with Jennifer Aniston in them because she's hot.
But my big issue with that is the fact that Netflix had to pay $100 million just for it to be taken out again.
that's so much money just for
Yeah,
one
I'm
extra
just
year.
like, come on, you could have invested.
Bro.
Like
that,
Netflix is so
that
much
money-
in depth right now
See-
that I really think that was a bad move.
It was a bad move.
That kind of pisses me off because there is genuinely a bunch of good shows that I've seen on Netflix that could use another season but didn't get one because of budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
They're
So,
spending
because they're spending
$100,000
No, it was 100 million,
100
dude.
million.
100 million, whatever it was, to get Friends on there for just another year.
Yeah, and that was the whole reason that whole pissed me off. Like I like Friends as much as the next guy, but like I don't think it's worth $100 million. And I can just get it on the other streaming service in like 6 months. Like so what?
Is it still on Netflix right now, Friends?
No, it's gone.
No.
It was gone
No,
at
it's
the end of
gone.
2019.
Oh, okay. It was end of 2019. I couldn't remember when this happened.
Yeah,
so I was
so
wondering.
the whole deal was 2018. That was
God,
what
that's a lot of money.
And the thing is,
one extra year, right?
For just
wanna know why it
365 days.
tell you
And
why
it was for one show. Like, if it was maybe for like a handful of NBC shows, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
One show.
I think it applied to The Office also, but no, I could be wrong. That's
Even
why.
then, that's still too much.
Yeah, it is. It is. Here's my thing. The whole reason that the whole reason why it got pushed back is because white Twitter decided, no, we want Friends. This is the worst thing ever.
Hold on.
Unsubscribe.
White Twitter? That's a thing.
White girl Twitter.
Yeah, it's white girl Twitter.
Oh,
You
he
know,
said
like when
white Twitter.
I
was thinking
like
a
you remember when
KKK.
I would sometimes go like, "Yo, Isaac, happy White Girl Wednesday." Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah, no, white.
No, I know that, but
and
it sounded like
when-
Lawrence was saying like white Twitter, like KKK Twitter.
No. The other
Jesus
kind of-
Christ.
the less violent white Twitter. Anyways,
Okay.
The less racist white Twitter.
Yeah.
That's probably a better word.
Yeah, the less racist one. So they pretty much they came out like as soon as Netflix said, yeah, it is true. At the end of this year, the Friends TV show will be leaving Netflix due to licensing reasons. And when that happened, oh my god, the amount of backlash they got.
The amount of white girls, yeah.
The amount of Karens in
I'm
Twitter.
not finished with
Everybody,
it
everybody was
Yeah.
like, I'm not finished with it. It's like, are you serious?
You're
I'm
not
only on
finished
my
with it.
third
That show's
watch.
been over for 30 years.
Even though Friends plays on
show's
literally
been-
every TV channel all the time, every day.
Yeah.
That
Known to
show
man.
was so popular, and it's so old now. Like, what do you mean you're not done yet?
Yeah, they're like, I'm not done with my third watch through, and I'm like, come on, man.
I'm like, all right, you need to
It's
watch.
not worth it.
It's like what I would usually say to someone who's like watched the MCU a million times. It's like, all right, watch something else, bro. Seriously,
yeah, like,
I'm
you
not
don't need to watch
finished with it
Friends
yet.
3 times. Jesus.
Friends is a fucking
Dude,
One Piece. Relax.
You're
bitch.
paying how much is Netflix? Like $7 or $8 a month? Like
It's like $10 now.
It's
$10 to get
Yeah.
access to this repository of content that you could be watching, and you're just sticking to one show.
One show.
It'd
yeah,
be like that, really.
There's so much good shit on there, like
Get your
like
money's worth.
BoJack Horseman and stuff, but not
Dude, dead
Friends.
ass.
yeah, and so that's why at the end of last year, when it finally left, like people were still upset about it.
My God,
And
this is oppression to like privileged people. It's
And
like
at
Friends leaving Netflix.
at that point, I was just like, nah, fuck that. I can wait a few like.
Half of me
few
wonders if the amount of people who complain about this are also the ones that are like, I don't need to wear a mask
Hey, when
during a pandemic.
You know what's
They probably are.
you know what's funny? Most of these same people who are
You
complaining,
charge
were
5 cents per bag.
they're already subscribed to HBO Go, which means that they, obviously they had Game of Thrones and everything like that, which means if you already have a subscription to HBO Go and whatnot, you automatically get like upgraded to HBO Max when it comes out, right? So it's like you couldn't wait a few extra months to get it. It really, it was just, there's so much good things. Like even Parks and Rec is way better, and that's on Netflix.
And that's probably going to stay on Netflix for a while.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That one, I mean, it's good. And Community just got back on Netflix. It was on Hulu.
Oh yeah, Community's on there too.
Yep.
And that's really good. So and even the
And the Inkling Brothers podcast is back on Netflix.
Back on
That's
Netflix.
really
Right.
good.
There you are, guys.
The Office is
The
also
ramen pack is coming to Netflix.
The Office is still on Netflix also. So like there are a lot of other shows that you could have watched.
My third birthday videos are back on Netflix.
Your third birthday video?
But
I
Based
know,
on
very
your,
specific.
but I'm
based on your recommendations.
I'm looking forward to see it actually.
Because you watched Human Centipede, we recommend Eric's third
Lawrence
birthday.
losing his virginity video is on Netflix.
Oh my god! next Wednesday is actually the day that the streaming service finally opens up, so they'll have all of the the good stuff. So hopefully by the time that we do the next podcast, I'll be able to tell you guys how
Opens up. You make it sound like it's a fucking baseball stadium.
it is. Right now they don't have.
It's true. It's actually, he's not wrong. You make it sound like a store.
Well, yeah, because they're not going to
Open for business.
right now you can use the app, but the
Yo,
thing,
did Duke Devlin open that store? Can I play some
Duke
Dungeon
Devlin
Dice
opened-
Monsters on there?
Bro, Duke Devlin opens up a
So,
streaming
a
service.
lot of the content that's already on there is everything that was on HBO Go.
He
So-
has one, Ray. It's his OnlyFans.
Oh my god!
What? Who has an OnlyFans?
Bro, on the
What?
on the user interface, you hear the sexy back instrumental.
Yeah, exactly. That's just all you
Wait,
hear
hold
as you're
on.
browsing.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, but yeah, I
This is a
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh
Lord.
reference, Isaac. Don't
Oh,
worry.
okay.
personally, I'm not really sure like exactly how it's gonna work out.
Bro, wow, you're so solemn with it. Like, Jesus Christ, it makes it sound like you're like having trouble with your girlfriend or something. Like, I don't know if it's gonna work out, man.
Cause I'm your lady.
I anticipate the service to maybe crash. I don't know.
All right, look,
HBO Max? I doubt it.
Here's my predictions for it.
White Twitter.
It's gonna be dick and balls.
Well, here's the thing. No one's gonna use it for Game of Thrones, but they still have a lot of other stuff on there. There's still a premium channel.
What else is on there? Okay, so we said.
I mean, well, there's that Adventure
Venom,
Time thing. The Snyder
Friends.
Cut.
There is a
Snyder Cut.
there's a late
The
night
Joss
show
Whedon cut.
featuring
There's-
Elmo.
Or there's the late
Oh, yeah,
night
they have
show
Sesame
with
Street
Elmo,
because
where
HBO owns
where
Sesame
Batman
Street.
is gonna be a guest.
Yeah,
That's
Batman and
hilarious.
the Jonas Brothers are going to be a guest on that show.
Oh, dude, is that part of the Jonas arc?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
There,
Canon.
They have the
Powerpuff
entire.
Girls showed up on
They
there.
have the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be down for that.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Fresh Prince is still huge to this
Is
day.
it all just series and shows or?
Yeah,
movies?
I mean, that's what
movies.
HBO is. It's like shows and movies.
Oh,
Because
No, I
the-
know
the-
that, but like,
G-
what?
G-
I'm asking, like,
also,
what is going to be on there
Joker
exactly?
is on there too.
Also, the Boondocks
Yeah, but I
from
saw
Adult
Joker.
Swim is gonna be on
Boondock.
there.
Well, does it have that crappy last season?
No, that's a reboot. They're
Oh
remaking.
no, but no, not that. The actual series itself.
Oh,
like,
the
it's gonna be on there.
old one. Oh,
But they have the
Yeah.
good seasons, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have that.
Yeah, they're gonna have-
Imagine
Okay.
the bad one.
It's the last season only. It's a
What a
fuck
way to
you
get
to
people
everyone.
into the show.
Um,
And then also they have the Ghibli movies are gonna be on there as well.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
yeah,
That's, a,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a really good grab
Seriously?
then.
Yeah.
yeah, they got.
I went that
I might
picture.
rewatch them then once I get Lawrence's login info.
Yeah,
If you guys look
That's
at
like
that
a really-
billboard I posted in the
That's
chat.
an interesting combination to have.
Does it?
Honestly,
Will it have like the English and Japanese versions of those movies?
Oh wow! So
That'd
look,
be
this is what it says. It says they're gonna have stuff from New Line Cinema, DC, TBS, TNT, True TV, CNN, Cartoon Network, the CW, Turner Classic Movies, Crunchyroll, Rooster Teeth, and Adult Swim.
I only watched like 2 of those. If I'm being honest.
Damn. He listed like
So-
85 things.
It's gonna have hubs for animated programming, drawing largely from libraries of
Hubs.
Warner Brothers
Oh, shit.
Animation,
They're gonna
including
have the Pornhub.
Looney
Nice.
Tunes, Looney Tunes, and
Looney Tunes.
and Cartoon Network, including Adventure Time, Dexter's Lab, Ed, and Eddie Cowers.
I heard
Academy.
Dexter's Lab for a second.
I Dexter's Lab.
Dexter's Lab.
So there's definitely gonna be porn on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Isaac was not wrong.
Codename
Bruh.
Kids Next Door, Grim Adventures of Billy.
You're gonna have
Murphy,
K&D on there? Wow.
Foster's Home, Chowder, Ben 10 regular show.
yeah,
So
if
this
they're
is kind of funny when you
if
think
they're gonna
about it.
have
Nick
Verve on
went
there,
with
then yeah.
Netflix,
They're also
and then
gonna
Cartoon
have-
Network went with HBO.
Yeah, so they're also gonna have 17 anime, including Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Kill
That's a good
Kill,
grab.
Berserk, Your Lie in April, ReZero,
Oh my god, Berserk.
Veroni, Kenshin, and they're even making their own called Inspector.
Okay,
uh,
hold on. Yeah,
also
we
Death
gotta rewind a little bit back there.
Take a look in the
Note
chat,
and
by the way.
X Hunter will also be on there as well, along with the Studio Ghibli films Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh my God, Ray, that looks so
Delivery
awkward.
service.
Rick and Morty next to like a
My
Studio
Neighbor
Ghibli
Totoro.
character.
And Big Bird.
Next to
Oh
Chill.
my
and a
God.
fucking Gremlin and Big Bird.
South
Also,
Park is there
South
too.
Park with
Jeez.
Elmo.
Something I forgot to mention actually earlier that I found out earlier
Look
today.
at Will pointing at Dorothy.
Did you guys know that? So I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a Batwoman series that was on the CW for as part of the Arrowverse.
I thought it was still going.
It is still going, but guess what happened? The Ruby Rose, who was famous for Orange is the New Black, is
And for starring in Ruby.
yeah. So she actually left the show after the first season.
Wow. So what happened then? They got a new actress?
They haven't said anything because she literally just said, "I have a lot of respect for everybody on there," but she just left.
I have a lot of respect, but no.
Leaves.
No.
I'm good.
But yeah.
All right, wait.
Nah,
so
fam.
Also
rewind
Big
back,
Bang
'cause you
Theory,
said a
if you
lot,
like that.
Lawrence. So
No.
like 2 of the anime that you mentioned are on another network. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering how that
Anime?
even works out. Yeah, but 2 of the animes that you said that are going to be on HBO Max are on Netflix. How are they like? So they can have the licenses at the same time?
I guess
was that
like
again?
I guess it varies. Like maybe
I said
some
that 2 of the animes that you mentioned. Did you hear me?
Hey,
no?
oh yeah. Okay. So even though they're shared with another network, it's an agreement. So this is kind of like what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about like we hope that there will be like some sort of like one streaming service that has like everything.
So what the fuck is the point of HBO Max and Netflix then?
HBO Max is the series. Series.
the
Is
series.
it is the streaming service and it
No, I
has
get
all of that.
I get that, but I'm saying,
Well, they're-
what's the point of even subscribing if both of those both Netflix and HBO have the same shows?
Not
Well, they
all-
won't.
There's a
That's
lot
the
of things
thing.
that are not on there.
Like
that
Cartoon
True.
Network stuff
Yeah.
isn't on
No,
on
all right,
Netflix.
true.
It's gonna be on
True,
HBO.
That's fair. No, that's fair. But it's like,
Crunchyroll just has a deal with them. Say here are like for people who are not subscribed to Crunchyroll, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
a lot, like regular people aren't subscribed to Crunchyroll, right?
regular people.
Normies, you
are-
say it.
Yeah.
Relax.
There are like 10 people, like I don't know. Some people will just scroll through their stuff, especially now during these days, and they'll just be
I
like,
hardly
"Oh
need to
shit."
watch these fucking
Kiddo,
Chinese
kiddo.
cartoons.
Well, it's there are a lot of actually as like normies that enjoy like Studio Ghibli.
Friends and only friends.
Well, they enjoy Studio Ghibli films. I know a lot of people that like My Neighbor Totoro,
That is true.
and they're like,
I know.
and
There's
they're
normies that like
you know,
Studio
and,
Ghibli.
and they're the same people who'll be like, yeah, I watch anime. I watched this movie called My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh no, nigga, no, I'm not gonna watch that weird shit. Oh, but my name is Totoro. That's a shit. Nigga.
Yo, the
Wow.
yo,
You went all in
You know
there.
what else they got on HBO Max? Looney Tunes.
And so
there just happens to be a Hispanic guy in the apartment too.
and so that's why like I assume that everything will just kind of like it's just for people who don't want
Normal people.
it's for like people who are like not really like, for example, Netflix. It has a bunch of anime on it.
Yeah.
Right? Normies watch the anime that's on there. Like for example, Seven
Tiger
Deadly
King.
Sins. No.
What?
Tiger King, he said.
Fucking Tiger King.
And so
Hey, the story basically sounds like an anime, but
And
yeah,
so
I get what you're saying.
So Crunchyroll's like, yeah, here, you know what? Here's 17 of really good anime that you can take and put it on your service. And there's also a lot of other really good stuff. They have South Park.
So
they also
I
have
get it. Like both Netflix and
all
HBO
the
Max
seasons of
cater to
Doctor
different types of audiences. The point I was just making was like I didn't know how they can even have licenses to 2 shows at the same time if Friends was taken from one network to the other. But I get it's up to a network.
Yeah, it's a studio by studio thing for like Cartoon
Which is
Network.
retarded. I mean, sorry to say it like this, but it's honestly retarded because then what's the point of these different streaming services if companies can just say, oh yeah, you want to watch this anime on all the streaming services, you can go for it. Like then why am I paying for 12 different subscriptions? Like
you don't have to.
that.
That's why
That's the thing. You don't have to.
That's why
No, I know you don't
Max,
have to, but like
that's
why
HBO
even
Max
is there 12 of them?
That's why HBO Max is like it's trying to like I guess change the landscape a little bit from what I'm reading. It's just like it is trying to like make deals with all these other networks that are available on other services so that people can just be like, oh, instead of me subscribing to, Crunchyroll, pay $7 a month, I can pay $11 to $14 a month and I'll get the stuff that I want, plus more. And
Plus
compared
Ultra.
to like if I'm watching like Funimation or Crunchyroll, like maybe I'll only watch 10 or 15 of the shows and then I might cancel my subscription. This one, I mean, like I said, they're bringing all the 14 seasons of Doctor Who. I don't like they said that there's going to be 10,000 hours of content at launch.
Teaboos will love that.
Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that, along with original content. Like, they're rebooting or remaking the Gossip Girls show.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But also, like, there's a lot of stuff from the old HBO.
Pretty Little Liars.
Game of Thrones is on there. Pretty Little Liars will be on there. As well as, like, late last week tonight, John Oliver is going to be on there, which is still really popular.
So many white girls from Hunter are going to be into that show, Eric.
True Blood. What some other HBO shows that were really good? Chernobyl.
The Chernobyl movie?
No, there was
the short series.
There's a show, yeah. Boardwalk Empire. So all those like old HBO shows. Sopranos is on there too.
I get it. Like, they have stuff to offer. I guess I was just confused how they were going to have Full Metal Alchemist and this show you said. Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. I forgot what the other one was, but since it's on Netflix, I wasn't sure how they'd even have it, but I see.
They haven't said if it's going to be dubbed, to be honest, so it could be just totally subbed, which still gives a service like Funimation like the upper leg if someone, like, for example, someone who is not really into subs as an individual and just wants to watch dubs. It gives them still an upper hand in this. Like I said, I don't really know the details about the anime stuff that's going to be on there. From what I know, it is still kind of limited since it's only at launch. You're going to be only 17 of them. A lot, but granted, I mean, there are thousands of them on Crunchyroll and on Funimation. So, but that's just like my cup of tea. And honestly, like, at first I was not for getting another service. And then I decided to do a little more research and I figured out that actually, like, yeah, I might even in the future, like, get rid of some of my other services because this does seem to be promising and having way more content than like just buying it for one thing,
How many subscriptions do you have? Or what services are you subscribed to?
So my Netflix account, I still have it, but I tossed that. I didn't toss it. I gave it to my folks. So they're the ones that are paying for this one. They're also paying for this one as well for HBO Max. I have Hulu. I also have Funimation and Crunchyroll. And I also, Amazon, but that comes with Prime, so I'm not really paying for that. Because you get the student deal, so you can still get all of Prime Video with it. And I also have Spotify, but yeah, that's it.
You have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hulu, Disney Plus, Spotify,
and Disney
HBO,
Plus, yeah. But the Disney
Prime Video.
I did the deal that you get Disney Plus, you'll get Hulu and ESPN Plus. I don't really watch ESPN, but you get the 3 deal and you pay the same price that you pay for Hulu. So
you have like what? That's like 9, 7 or 8 services.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I kind of give back to my friends, like I let them have the password and everything so they can watch it because it's like I'm not, if I'm not getting all the use out of it on like one day, someone else is, like
Does anyone watch Hulu ad supported? Because I feel like it's Hulu with ads.
I used to, yeah.
I used to, but I don't anymore just because it actually can get kind of like
annoying.
Yeah, it's just like YouTube. Like literally, sometimes they'll have like 6 or 7 ads.
Dude, I feel like it's worse than YouTube, to be honest, because at some point you just want to watch a show or an episode without getting bothered, and there's a 30-second ad, sometimes 60, in the middle of your episode.
Yeah. No, exactly, and that's why it's just like
so dumb.
It's dumb and it's stupid, and I really don't want that. I know it's going to be the norm, but like I really didn't want it to be the norm. But
Hulu made it the norm, if anything.
Yeah, because they were the ones that did the whole no ad supported plan. Thankfully, like I said, that they partnered up with Disney Plus, so now that with my subscription for Hulu, I'm getting also Disney Plus. So
you get with that subscription, do you get like the regular ad plan or? Like
no. I just transferred my own plan that I already had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for Hulu, but you kept your subscription.
Yeah, I just said, all right, now I'm gonna switch to this deal because I'm already paying $11 for Hulu. Give me
Shit, $11?
That's how much it was for the no ad plan. And
That's
then
insane.
so now it's worth it because I'm getting Disney Plus out of it. So
But that's the same price as Netflix, though.
Netflix, yeah. Netflix is around. Actually, it's cheaper than Netflix because Netflix is like $12 or $13 now.
It's 12 or 13.
Yeah, they increased their prices. Like, you remember when they used to be $7.99 a month?
It used to be $8. I remember.
Yeah, now they're not. I remember I used to pay $7.99 a month.
Dude, it's just like having Xbox Live.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And you forget to include Xbox Live and PlayStation Network too. Jeez.
I buy my cards at the beginning of the year. I buy them for like $30 for the 1 year, so I don't have to pay.
And now you have the Nintendo Family Plan for Nintendo Online.
I also that one. I'm still working. Actually, Amazon gave a free year out, so
there's that too.
Yeah, so I'm still working on that right now.
Did you guys remember when Netflix, like way back, I think in like the early 2010s,
they used to do DVDs?
Well, no. They were talking about like expanding into like games, like game rentals and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they dropped it before like it ever launched.
And then GameFly came into the picture.
I remember those GameFly ads.
Does Netflix actually still do DVDs, or did that stop?
You can actually order them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I swore the other day I saw like an option for that.
Yeah.
There is an option. Yeah, you see it in really tiny font on the website.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, DVDs.
Yeah, I mean,
they're still a thing. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, by the way, DVD movie.
movie.
Yeah, I've seen
DVD movie.
Especially for some content actually is only available in DVD form.
What?
Yeah,
really?
What content?
Yeah, there is some content out there that is only available in DVD.
Netflix exclusive DVD.
Someone's home videos.
What if Stranger Things season 4 was only on DVD?
Oh, God. I think a lot of people would be pissed.
The thing
I don't like DVD player for this bullshit.
I think the reason that they're only on DVD, I think it's because
the last episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender is DVD only.
DVD only.
When you go to like a library and you want to like request like a really specific book or something like that,
right.
It's the same exact case because it's like there's no demand for this, like for maybe this series or for this movie. So they're just.
Can I have this specific edition of this book? Oh, I'm sorry, it's only available in audio CD format.
Yeah.
You know what I hope Netflix has on DVD?
What?
'Cause I'm your lady.
Close. I want them to have.
I thought that was Ray singing. Oh my god.
Sound like Ray, yeah.
I want them to have SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Second season.
What was that?
You don't remember those commercials? Like, SpongeBob second season, now on DVD.
Oh, wow.
I think I remember this.
I do.
It was on every SpongeBob DVD back in
Ray,
the day.
do you remember in middle school, like 7th, 8th grade, like before holiday breaks, like Thanksgiving break or Christmas break, our middle school teacher would play Netflix movies on his like projector in class. He'd bring his PlayStation. Yeah. He'd bring his PlayStation and play Netflix movies. Like he'd be there. So in middle school, we had a teacher that would play Netflix. He'd bring his PlayStation for like Christmas break or Thanksgiving break, and he'd play like Resident Evil or like some other movies. The Dark Knight. This is like at the very beginning of Netflix's like streaming days.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one year at the school, I was able to bring my Nintendo Wii over, and we just played Smash Bros. Brawl on like the last day of school.
I did that too once.
There was a lot of loose freedom with like when it came to the last day of stuff.
I remember that. Yeah, those were fun times. I think I brought Smash over one time, even like from on my GameCube. But yeah, I remember they used to do DVD rentals, and
yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
That was the main thing they did.
Yeah, You'd have to wait like 5
That was the
days for a movie
beginning
to
of
come.
like the
You order it online. You're
blockbuster.
like, all right,
Yeah.
honey, let's get it on. Let's order for Friday. Okay, great. Now we have to wait 5 days. Now you don't have to wait at all. It's wild. And at one point in time, Netflix is actually about to go bankrupt in the late 90s.
Who, Netflix?
Their rental, they were losing money, and their rentals weren't helping them at all. And they were the first to go. I'm not sure if they were the first, but they were the first to really hit it big with streaming, at least for movies.
Mm.
I can't remember when they first started doing TV shows and anime too, but like it's like Lawrence said, like at one point you just see like all these like big movie companies making contracts with them, and everyone has it all of a sudden. SpongeBob, fuck right, that's like on my
You're watching it now, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it. I vaguely remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on a lot of the DVDs, so that's how I remember it.
I'm trying to think back to at what point in time did Netflix kind of like become. I feel like in 2010, that's when pretty much everyone had a Netflix subscription. There was no real competition until Hulu came around in like 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Around that time, yeah.
And then I don't remember who got into the streaming service game like afterwards, but I think YouTube tried to do it.
There's this meme that says that like YouTube Premium is like that one thing you think is going to suck, but actually doesn't. Like there's actually good content, good original content, apparently. Like YouTube.
I don't use YouTube Premium at all, man. I don't even have it.
I don't have it either.
I got it because we have the Drive, so I get like that for free.
Because you have a Google Drive subscription.
I have the Google Drive subscription, so.
So what do you use it for?
What, the Google Drive or YouTube?
What is it? What does YouTube Premium come with? Like
besides the free ads,
original content.
Yeah, there's some original content. I mean,
free ads. That's the only thing that I think is worth it. Like, and the fact that you can play music without having to keep the video.
Yeah, and Cobra Kai. I watched Cobra Kai, and that one's really good. It's available for free though now. So, but like there's a lot of other stuff. There was that weird game theory show that they had where they tested.
Yeah, they try to do a lot of the stuff
like
with the
Mythbusters kind of thing.
With the big YouTubers.
Yeah, they did a lot of weird stuff with the big YouTubers, but I mean, some of it was actually not that bad. I'll be honest. Like
the big YouTubers that has so many different meanings depending on who you ask. Like what era of YouTube?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's not like totally definitely the ads is a huge thing, especially because I like to when I'm watching, I like to have I like to be actively engaged with the video, especially if it's something like a video essay or even something like from the company man, Bright Sun Films, because I don't want in the middle of something where he's just and then suddenly it's an ad. And then I'm just like, oh, come on. I just want to know. And then it's like a 2 minute and 40-second ad. And it's just like,
dude, I hate the ones where it's like 2 15-second ads that you can't skip.
Yeah. I remember
in the middle of the video.
Yeah. And so,
not going to lie, I just have ad blocker on in general. Unless I really want to support the channel, then I'll turn it off. But I just can't.
Yeah. I mean, is it worth...
YouTube made it worse, man. They just don't make it easy at all to watch videos.
No, but if you're getting extra benefits, then for example, I got it only because I have the drive storage, then yeah, it's worth it. But if you're paying $15 a month and that's all you get, it's not worth it.
Right.
Because if a lot of the original content, I'm pretty sure you can go on to Pirate Bay and find it, or you can find it. Or they'll just make it free eventually. It's not all that big of a deal, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not worth going out yo, let's see it right now.
Yeah, it really isn't. And like I said, it's just kind of it's like when you're digging for treasure in the junkyard. You'll probably find something worth something in there.
Something worth something.
One man's
Yeah.
trash, is another man's treasure.
Yeah,
Makes
like
sense.
personally, I really like the Cobra Kai, and I'm looking forward to the next season. But both of the season, first and second seasons, are up on there already. But yeah, all right. I think
with my AirPod case.
I think
Just unplugged my laptop.
I think we've talked everyone's ears off at this point.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It is 1:48 a.m. on
1:48.
this side over here. I think maybe next episode we'll bring back the
The game.
game.
Or
So-
we tell people like, all right, guys, we're recording at this point, so if you guys want to play along and not pause the podcast, there you go. See where we end off.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to us ramble and for listening to my rant of the season. Last rant of the season was last year. Last year
I
was
thought you were gonna say this will be the last rant of the season. We can't guarantee
well,
that.
who knows? Maybe last year was the Pokemon I Choose You one. This time it was Indiana
Don't
Jones.
forget Armando Gutierrez as well.
Let's not talk about that.
This dude has rants every other episode. We just listen to him rant for half an hour on Indiana Jones.
But yeah, so we'll catch you guys in about 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll have a charity in mind that we wanted to donate to. On that note, my name is Royal Du Lorenzo. I'm the Blue Squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
My name is Ray, also known as Meatloaf Man. I'm the Purple Squid here on the Inkling Brothers podcast.
I'm Sempaizik, also known as the Red Squid.
And I'm Eric.
All right, guys, and we will see you in 2 weeks. See ya
See you guys.
next time.
Bye.
Peace.